Hey all, J-Man here. I just want to tell you about beardedshirts.com. It's a great place to get a lot of cool superhero shirts and other merchandise. You can scroll, they've always got sales on. As you can see, they've got these really cool print all over shirts, which I really love. That's Eddie, the founder of the site. And if you're looking for stuff, all you got to do is you click on the search here and you can type in all over. And that's going to show you the all over prints, which are really, really cool. Look at that. You got Legion of Superheroes, you got Brave and the Bold, you got JSA, you got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all kinds of stuff. So check out beardedshirts.com. Hey guys, J-Man here. Welcome to Days of High Adventure. This takes place every Sunday where we talk about a cool movie. Today we're talking about two cool movies. I'm wearing my Canon shirt today because it is Canon Day. So we're talking about two Richard Chamberlain movies playing Allan Quatermain. And I've actually read King Solomon's Mines and I read half of Allan Quatermain. So I actually read the books that these are very, 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 very loosely, very loosely, almost not even bothering being adapted from. Very loose. Did I mention that? It's very loose. Sharon Stone is not in these books. That's probably why the books are considered literature and the movie is not considered great cinema. But anyways, it is great cinema if you're, 14 or whatever you were, whatever I was when I saw these movies. Anyway, we're going to have fun talking about them. If you're watching this from Decepticons channel, Sean can't make it today. Something came up. So I've let it stream on his. I multi-stream this so I can control it. So if you're watching from Decepticon, thanks for joining me. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and his channel because I'm now multi-streaming anything. Sean only comes to my streams. So I always multi-stream now to his channel as well. So keep that in mind. So if you were here to see Sean, he's not here, but you could stay and have fun with us. Anyways, tomorrow we're going to be talking about, Sean and I are going to be talking about the Avengers. This is episode 9 of the Avengers live stream, which happens every Monday. So it's known as Earth's Mightiest Mondays, where we talk about 4 Avenger comics. And this is going to be a good one tomorrow. This Wednesday, multi-streamed as well from the Action Elite and also my channel. We're going to be talking about the epic sci-fi masterpiece. Oh, wait a second. It's Abraxas. Sorry, I thought we were talking about something else. But no, it's going to be Abraxas we're talking about. Well, it's a masterpiece in some ways, I guess. It's a masterpiece in having a hero who's balding. So that is one good thing about it. And Sven Ole Thorsen is literally the greatest character in cinema in this movie. So that's going to be happening this Wednesday. Some of my panelists are laughing as though that was a joke, even though clearly it's not, because he's the best. Friday, Iron Fist, Marvel premiere. If you guys were here last Friday, you saw that Iron Fist is the greatest damn thing ever. It continues to be the greatest damn thing ever with Marvel premiere issues 21 through 25. So much action. It's kung fu action. If you never read Iron Fist, don't judge by that garbage TV show. You need to go back and read this. And if you read it and you like it, check out last Friday's stream. It was absolutely epic. Let's thank the channel members and we can get on. Super friends, we want to say thank you to everybody. That's Dan, Sean, Steven, Brennan, Mark D, RR, Philip Story, Digger Jim, Quagnar, and Just Joe. And we always thank Clobberin Times, though he didn't like these movies. He told me in confidence once that he didn't like these movies. I said I forgive him, but I didn't forgive him. Unfortunately, I did not actually forgive him, but I guess I forgive him now. Anyway, so we miss him, and thanks to all of the super friends. All right, let's bring in our folks. I'm going to bring them in all at one go. And we're going to use let's use the Neil Breen.
I can't wait any longer.
Hey guys.
Wow. Accurate.
If I had a 3D case, I would have done that to the screen.
All right. Well, FK was here with a super chat, so like to say thank you to that. Do I have any? I don't have any Allan Quatermain specific super chats. How about Elvira? Elvira. Oh, yo, Elvira is in this because is in this.
Look at that.
So there you go. That works. And how about Sybil Danning? And just the generic thank you is also good. So there you go.
We should do that Lost Empire movie she was in.
Oh dear.
Even in that one.
Oh, was she in? Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I have all her movies. Okay, so RR was here first. Super friend, RR. Thank you. You watched King Solomon's Mines. Honestly, it works best as a comedy. Well, it kind of is comedy adventure. Sharon Stone was gorgeous. Yep, but a terrible actress. Yep, possible. It's debatable. I don't think anyone's good. I don't think anyone's going to debate against it, but it is debatable.
I'll debate against it. Yeah,
it's debatable. Chamberlain was cool. He was cool. I think his charisma carries these two pictures big time. He is awesome in my opinion. This is why I still like them. He was cool. John Rhys Davies, yes, and Herbert Lom, yeah, they're great. They were just caricatures. Yep, that is true. They were just there. And then part two, like Henry Silva, I like, and James Earl Jones, like they're like the actors are crazy in these movies. If you look only on, if I just tell you what the movie is, and then you look on IMDb, you're like, oh shit, look at all these people in it. And
yeah, they're in it to win it. 100%.
They're in and friggin' the music, right? Music, like it's all total package stuff. And you watch it like, well, this is kind of cheesy, but there's a big charm in these movies. And watching them as a kid, I literally thought they were equal to Indiana Jones. Like I was just like, it's all like I just continued it on. I'm like, I watched Temple of Doom, then I'm like, let's watch Lost City of Gold, and
okay. So you know what? Because you said that, I'm going to be a lot nicer than I had planned to be.
Also, I have the Lost City of Gold poster hanging up there, and it's one of my favorite posters of all time.
Well, it's a cool poster.
Not because of I want to stay friends with you, but because I want to do like what happened with the He-Man movie, where I was like, I want to listen to you guys because you had a different experience than I did. You had at whatever age you saw the same experience I had when I watched Star Crash, and thought that was like equal to Star Wars because I was like 10 years older.
That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't see Star Crash till it came out on DVD, and I thought it was pretty awesome. I didn't think it was equal to Star Wars, but I thought it was pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so FK, thanks, buddy, for being here. 420. Yes. Okay, so only now in this late hour do I know what that means. I don't partake in any of these things, so I had no idea what you're talking about. And then you're saying Cheech and Chong. I'm like, I don't get it. I was like, was that in a movie or something? Was
that today?
Well, I don't know.
420, man.
420.
I mean, none of us partake, but I grew up watching Cheech and Chong. Okay?
I never watched any of those movies. I didn't know.
It's comedy greats, man. Okay, it's just
now it's even better because it's so politically incorrect. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was in high school in the early '80s when they were still like super pop. Dr. Demento used to play their stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Joe Dog, what's up? Thanks. You watched Rome? Yes, I have that on DVD. That was the old Rome show, right? That was pretty good. Lost World from 1925. Yeah, that would be a good one to do. RR saying Rome is excellent. Yes, I remember thinking it was really. I own it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was great because I own a lot of stuff. Me owning it doesn't mean much anymore. It used to mean something back probably 2,000 DVDs ago. It meant something, but now
it meant you got it cheap somewhere, possibly.
Speaking of Quatermain, the idea for the Survivor League. Oh, I loved that movie.
Hands down.
Let's do that. Let's do that one.
Yeah, I was thinking that while I was watching these. I was like,
the funny thing is, we'll mention it. Yeah, we'll mention the thing with those is that a lot of people didn't like that movie, and they claimed because Alan Moore wrote those comics, and I actually read this is one of the ones. This is going to be an effing shocker. I liked the movie better than the comic.
Really?
That is a shock, especially for
Alan Moore
project. Yeah,
Alan Moore's one of my top boys. The comics were too weird. Like Mr. Hyde rapes the Invisible Man. Like it's this weird stuff. And this was like I can't remember what issue this was. It was like, what is happening? And I was like, Alan, you lost your mind. Like the movie made them heroic and added guys, and they made the Phantom of the Opera, or the fan. It's not whatever. We'll talk about it then. But anyways, I really liked the movie.
Like, movie's awesome. Still want that car.
That car's badass. Nemo's car.
Oh my god!
The British people were all like, "Oh, you could tell this movie was made by Americans because of the car and Tom Sawyer.
Yeah,
supposed to be in it." And blah blah blah.
Well, Tom Sawyer was pretty cool. I thought Tom Sawyer was cool because Allan Quatermain lost his son, so he was able to train Tom Sawyer. I thought that was really neat.
So my bias was that was like when I was neck deep in 2000 AD, and not only was it Alan Moore, it was Kevin O'Neill, who had just come off of Nemesis the Warlock, and I was like, you don't criticize a project that began with Alan Moore and Nemesis the Warlock artist and come out with a movie like that just goes completely away from what they were trying to do.
Right.
Having said that, I think this might be one of those movies, if I saw it again now, years separated from that, I might actually enjoy it just on its own.
LSG?
Very possible.
Oh, I got the poster. I went all out. I got buttons and magnets, and I was all in. Abraxas, the sexual Tyrannosaurus. That is correct. That is who Abraxas is.
That's it.
See, you got some CTs. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Time to grab the devil by the...
It's the devil's lettuce.
Oh, devil's lettuce.
That's more like celery, and I don't think it's celery.
Yeah.
This film is so not PC. Couldn't be made today. Oh yeah.
Dude.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. You know what the best is when he talks about slavery, and then she's like, "That's terrible." He goes, "Well, you could bargain."
Yeah.
Dude, I was blown away by some of this.
Did you guys watch more Community when you were kids?
A little bit. 1 second. I'm almost
syndicated.
Caught up. Thanks, Classic, for being here, buddy. And I know you're joining us in about just about 3 weeks or so for Avengers, right? So we'll keep reminding me on that one. You said grape and demonetized. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a film much less disturbing than the comic. Yes, there's some very messed up stuff in there. Yes, not a good movie, but less likely to give you nightmares. Well, I liked the movie. When we will definitely do that one for sure. We'll do it sooner than later because since we're on the heels of this already. Yeah. Now, so I can share. So I actually last time I had. I can have the movie up. Let's see how we can do this and not get too nailed here. Boom. So this is King Solomon's Mines, 1985. Now, I has anyone read? I'm assuming Charlie, John, you didn't read this book.
I did not.
Ross, did you read King Solomon? Oh, you didn't read King Solomon? Okay, so I read this one. I had a triple pack book. It was Allan. So the first book is called King Solomon's Mines. Mm-hmm. The second book is called Allan Quatermain, and then my edition also came with which also was made into a movie, which we will cover on one of these as well. So that was all H. Rider Haggard's. It was those, but there's many Quatermain books. King Solomon's Mines the movie has nothing to do with the book. Lost City of Gold is actually a bit closer. I'm only halfway through Lost City of Gold. It's not called Lost City of Gold. It's just called Allan Quatermain. And the main objective is to find the white race. They changed the objective. It is a City of Gold though. But they changed the objective in the movie to the Lost City of Gold rather than finding this weird white African race. So I mean, I guess they maybe probably for politically incorrect reasons, so they weren't too shy about being politically incorrect anyway. So I don't know if it really matters. But yeah, so I can't remember when I saw this movie. I was probably on VHS. And I'll say something about Allan Quatermain, then we can circle back to everybody. But I saw also Allan Quatermain. I own them both on VHS. And Quatermain came out, and I just thought the poster looked cool, and I love Indiana Jones and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, let's do it. So it's weird because Indiana Jones, these movies take from Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones takes a little bit from Allan Quatermain. So it's like kind of a full circle, except Allan Quatermain is just a hunter. He's not out looking for adventures. And the second movie, Lost City of Gold, definitely has more sharpshooting. He shoots monsters, like he shoots, it's definitely more of him using his skills. He doesn't use the shooting as much. LXG actually showed it better with him training him how to, hit things in one shot and all that kind of stuff. But he's not really an adventurer. He's not like, let's go out and do stuff. He kind of just goes along with his buddies. Like for King Solomon's Mines, they just go on this adventure. The book is friggin' awesome. And they just go on this adventure and he's just part of it.
Have you seen the Stuart Granger movie? The one from
okay, I own 3 or 4 King Solomon's Mines. I've seen them. There was one with Patrick Swayze. He played Quatermain. Now I own that, but have not seen that one. Okay. So I don't know. I'm assuming they're more accurate. These movies, literally, canon is like, let's just find something that's like an Indiana Jones. Oh, Allan Quatermain. Let's just use.
It was probably public domain by that point too. But
it has to be. What was King Solomon's Mines, the book?
But I think they said that the movie came out like 100 years after the movie came out or the book came out. But so what
1885.
Yeah, it was public domain.
Yeah, 1885. Dick is here. How's it doing? Clues with you don't know what this is. Go to Tubi, watch them all, and come back.
Well, when you said you saw it on VHS tape, what decade did you see it in? About how old were you? Because that's like really interesting to me. Is like the context.
Well, I would have seen these when probably like 86, 87 or something. So I'm like 10.
Yeah,
10.
Okay, so VHS could mean like 2 years after they came out, or it could
So it could be years after. So if it took a year or two for them to even come to stores and me to get the first movie I ever rented, that I personally rented was Temple of Doom and I think RoboCop. So I didn't get a VHS player until then. I think I saw these on TV. I did not see them on VHS. I own them on VHS, but I did not see them on VHS. I saw them on TV. And so I went to Croatia when I was about 13 or 14. And Lost City of Gold made its way to Croatia. They had the poster there. And I had already seen the movie because I was like, oh my God, it's Allan Quatermain. And I asked my grandfather to take me. He's like, you have this movie at home. I was like, oh, I want to see it in the theater. He's like, no.
That's like saying, Mom, I want to see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And she goes, we've got Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom at home, and it's Allan Quatermain too.
And it's Allan Quatermain. So my friend, whose same name as me, and we met in kindergarten, and we're still friends to this day. We play D&D every month. So my name's Jason. His name is Jason. We've been friends since we were like 6 or 7 or whatever, or maybe whatever it is in senior kindergarten. So we're still friends now, best friends still now. So anyways, he literally thought when we were kids, he literally said he thought that Lost City of Gold was better than Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow.
And he just thought there was more fun in it. And he liked King Solomon's Mines better. He's like, there's more action. It is all action. It is constant movement in King Solomon's Mines. And there's lots of gunfire and jumping on stuff. Raiders of Lost Ark took certain action scenes and exploded them into like real excitement, right? Like no action scene in any of these movies is equal to any of those. But if there's a lot of just generic running around action, it seems pretty exciting to a kid.
Yeah.
To me, these were all lumped in. Like to me, this was just adventurer movie, guy with a hat. I didn't think too. I don't know when. Eventually, when I rewatch, it's like, oh God, these are so cheesy and like silly and da 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 da. And I was like, oh yeah, this is no way near the quality of the trilogy. The real Indiana Jones movies. It's nowhere near as good. Now these movies are better than the newer Indiana Jones.
Well, yeah. The last one, I'll say that the it's kind of like when I was a kid, I'd watch those Italian like pirate movies or whatever, and like the entire last half hour is just cannons going off and guys like who couldn't even sword fight, waving swords at each other, and people swinging and shit for like for an hour, half an hour, and I'd be like, "This is the greatest movie ever" because it's just action, action, action. And now I'm like, looking at my watch and checking my phone.
Right, and it's just So again, so I would have been like I would have been 13, and I'd seen all of these. Now I Temple of Doom was the first movie I had seen of Indiana Jones. I never saw Raiders. I went to my friend's place, and my friend had a projector, and he projected the snake. At the time I didn't know it was the Well of the Souls or what. I just like I don't know. I know there's a guy that went to a snake pit. I was like, oh, this is super cool. What is this? And he's like, well, it's in and my friend called it. His name was Jonathan. I remember he called it Indiana Jones. He's like, this is Indiana Jones. And I thought, oh, okay. So then when I went to go rent the movies, I saw, oh, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. This is the one. And I was like, that's the guy with the hat and everything. So I watched it and I was like, this is my favorite movie of all time. I loved it. I even did like the tearing. I even tear the sleeve off to have like the official one-armed Indiana Jones, because he lost a sleeve. And I loved it. And I was thinking, I'm like, that snake thing wasn't, I was like, where the hell's that snake part? And it may have been my mom or something because my grandparents, my father's out of the picture. It's just my grandparents and my mom and my aunt. My mom does not care about any of these things. And my grandfather didn't understand English very well. So they would literally say, I think my mom's like, oh, that's Harrison Ford. She's like, yeah, that's, I was like, yeah, that's Han Solo. It's the Han Solo guy. Cause I'd seen Star Wars. I was like, yeah, it's the Han Solo guy. She's like, yeah. She's like, the other one is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was like, oh, that's the one I need to see. And then I saw the both of them. I just thought they were both great. I like Temple of Doom more because I saw it first. And when you see it first with hearts being ripped out and like, the mine carts and like on that rope bridge, like it's very difficult to like now try to be like, well, the other one has some technical better part, like whatever, right? Like
technically you saw them in order.
I did see them in order because Temple of Doom is a prequel. Yeah, I did see them in order.
Yep. That's true.
So I love I was going to do a versus. We only have 4 of us here since 2 bailed. I wasn't sure if we should still do a versus or is there because on Owen's channel, we did a versus and not the way I do it, just which one do you like more? And Owen liked Lost City of Gold way more. My problem with Lost City of Gold is that the last 20 minutes is just nonsense. Like what happened to the story? There's like this revolution. There is so much cut out of that movie. Like if you watch the trailer, like the trailer's the trailer's not even the movie. You're like, none of this happened. Like he's in that pit where the gold is, and he's like swinging on stuff and jumping from rope to rope, and there's like a cart, and he's jumping off. You're like, what?
I wondered why would they build that cool Temple of Doom set and then like never use it except
they
for that
never
one
used
scene.
it
Because it was pulling Globus. That's why they.
Yeah. Well.
That's canon, everybody.
That's canon.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's waste money and not even have anything to show for it.
And then complain about how much it costs.
Yes.
And then complain. Right. Yeah.
Right, John. Since you brought this up, I'm gonna have a quick story.
Yeah.
My first girlfriend was part of a religious group that was very sheltered and shielded. So we introduced her to a lot of cool stuff when we were together. And I had a bad movie night. And so 10 to 20 guys would come and we'd put patio chairs in the garage and watch movies and whatever. So one night, a friend of mine was jonesing to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And we were talking about it for like a week before, like I could hardly wait to see it again. Saw it in the theater. It's so funny, blah, 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 blah. So, and she was kind of in a grumpy mood when we finally got around to watching it. So the Canon logo comes on the screen and she rolls her eyes so hard and goes, well, there's the sign of quality. And from that point on, that logo was always the sign of quality until Lionsgate came along.
Fair.
Well, this is the sign of quality. There's a lot of gags in these movies. And I think that they're a lot of fun, and they're definitely better than, at least there is a sense of let's have forward momentum in an action scene. One scene to another leads to another, leads to another. There's traps or obstacles. It is still in the serial format, right? Like, because they're just, I don't think they knew what they were doing. I think they just copied from Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones mastered that formula so perfectly that even a copy of it just by accident matched it better, which is why I think that even if you're doing these newer movies, you should just copy the format. Like, they can't even copy it and make it good. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't know what, like, Conan the Destroyer is perfect. For anytime I'm running a Dungeons and Dragons, I'd run it every month. If I'm out of ideas, I go back to Conan. Okay. Action fighting in the beginning, some sort of fight in the beginning. Then person gives quest, right? Find object A, fight a creature or solve a puzzle to get object A, which will then help you to get object B, fight the final creature at the end, destroy the object, get a treasure, and then that's your adventure for the day. Yes. And that is, Conan the Destroyer is perfect. Like, Conan Barbarian is a man's journey in life. It's not the same as Destroyer. Destroyer is a Dungeons and Dragons module played out in perfection. If they made it serious and there was no gags, you'd be like, this was one hell of an adventure movie, right? Like, monsters every time,
The thing is, what they say about Dungeons and Dragons now is that they've removed all the Conan stuff from it. Like when you and I were kids, it was like Conan and Lord of the Rings were kind of like this,
right,
in a spiral of inspiration for Dungeons and Dragons. And now the kids don't, it's not cool to like Conan, so they only borrow from Lord of the Rings. But since you're old and you're playing with old guys, you throw Conan into the mix still.
Oh yeah, I used to run a Conan role-playing game.
So these movies are like the Chat GPT of scripts, where they just kind of like scraped Indiana Jones and then like copied it without knowing why any of that stuff worked, or how to make it work, or better, or improve on it, or change it in any kind of meaningful way.
But they copied it and made, and yeah, their copy is better than a lot of people's like attempt. John, now you see everything in the theater. Okay, did you see these in the theater? Please tell me you did, because I'd be it'd make me happy.
Of course I did.
Nice. Did you really, or you just joke?
No, I'm not joking.
Oh, awesome, man.
How old are you, John?
I'm 52.
Okay,
so when this one came out, I was like 12.
Yeah, so did you think this was like the greatest thing you'd ever seen, or what?
I was older because I was already a lover of Raiders, because, and I was old enough, like I was almost 13. So I was going into my teen years. So I was watching it and I knew it was suspect to a point, but I still had a lot of fun with it. And the main reason is Richard Chamberlain and John Rhys Davies. I mean, how do you connect that to Raiders? You get John Rhys Davies.
You got to get John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, solid. Yeah.
You could just hear Golan and Globus in the meeting being like, we get him. It's Raiders, It's like, and then you got the stereotypical Germans and Herbert Lom. Oh my God. And then like how these two interact with each other. I watched it today and I'm just laughing. And like when he shoots all the guys at the quicksand, he's like, thank God, no more Wagner. I mean, it's like the greatest thing ever. I mean, and you can tell, like, here's the thing, because these guys, like Richard Chamberlain was interviewed. He was basically like Michael Caine for Jaws the Revenge. He was like, I was pitched one thing, and when I was shooting this, I was like, there's something totally different going on here. But he's such a professional. He's like, you know what? I'm all in. I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to do the best job I can. And he's the reason why I enjoy these movies to this day. Sharon Stone's awesome to look at, but oh my God, she's like nails on a chalkboard. Like the opening scene to this movie where he's talking, he's like, oh, we have a shadow. She's like, shadow? What do you mean shadow? And he's literally like just explaining like, that means we have somebody following us. I'm like, it's just the worst acting.
Quatermain.
Yeah. Or that's the other thing too. Quatermain. And like, how many times? Every time an action scene is going on, and he comes in Quatermain, and it's like they just say his name, and it's just like
and they're adding an R. There's no R after the A.
Yeah, Quarter.
It's not quarter. like it would be either Quater, if depending on how you say it. Like you could say Quater, you could say Quat. I just say Quater, like Quater. Like it's not Quarter. She's like Quatermain. It's like that's not his name. Like it's going to be your last name, Jesse. So it's like,
I used to say Quatermain. So I mean,
and then how Sharon Stone got the role is legend in itself.
That's hilarious.
How did she get it? I don't know.
Give me the Stone woman, because he was talking about romancing the Stone. He wanted Kathleen Turner, so they're like Stone, Sharon Stone. So he was like, and then he's like, "Who's this bitch?"
Globus watched Romancing the Stone, and he's like, "We're gonna make this movie. Get the Stone woman."
Yeah,
they didn't know that meant Kathleen Turner.
Oh,
they went and got Sharon Stone,
and everybody hated her when they were making this movie.
I think she hated everybody else too. I think she's doing this on purpose.
Is it true? Like they urinated in her bathtub?
That's what it says. I couldn't find anything else.
Or did you read IMDb where it says she showed up with her husband, and then he left, and then she proceeded to have affairs with local crewmen?
Yeah.
She
blames this movie for her like divorce or something like that too. Like at the time,
what? Because she started sleeping around with other people.
Well, it wasn't Richard Chamberlain, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, that
wasn't RC. I'll tell you that.
Learned that not too long ago. Going really? Okay.
You know what? He's still the coolest guy ever. You know that's the funny thing about it is it's like you find all this out later on. You're like, well, you seem pretty damn cool to me,
right?
And then you watch the movie, like he's pretty cool. I don't know. So he seemed like a pretty rugged man's man.
Yeah. He was a good actor.
He was a good actor for sure because I absolutely love him in this. I don't think I would say, but even Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile, I also included those. It was the 2 indie pictures, the 2 romance pictures, the 2 Quatermain pictures. I liked all 6 of those movies. I thought they were all cool. They're going around and doing adventures. We are going to do Jewel of the Nile versus, I guess we could do a versus here too. If we just do it a kind of a quick space versus
romancing and all that. Yeah.
You want to do a high adventure, you got to do Treasure of the 4 Crowns. That thing's oh my
God. That I saw. Okay, so I don't think I ever saw that full movie.
I saw it in 3D.
Nice.
I did.
Jungle Fever.
That's the one I've not seen ever.
But if we're doing all that, then Firewalker has to be in there too.
Man, I thought that was awesome too. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do all these and leave that out.
Like I watched Firewalker, and I thought it was a great. Like, and then to this day, I'm like, I hear people like condemn it.
You're like,
they're like, there's not a lot of action in it. I'm like, did you see Chuck Norris doing karate? Like the bar fight alone was worth the price of admission.
No, I like Firewalker. Again, another thing is that when I'm watching these movies, like John, when you're sitting there watching, you're 12 or whatever. Yeah. So I'm a bit younger. I wouldn't have seen it, but I saw it later, and so I'm the same age as you watching it later, though. And I'm thinking I thought Firewalker was friggin' awesome. I was like, holy shit, this is like badass. Like that's
the greatest thing because all the Cannon movies came to my theater because I had a theater on both sides of a street. That's
awesome.
Yeah. So if it didn't go to one, it went to the other. So I was like Delta Force. And 85, when this came out, it was, Invasion USA came out. And then of course Delta Force was 86. And then Miss in Action was 84. I mean, like I was all into Cannon. And like of course I didn't know all about Cannon that I know about today. I just thought they were making awesome action movies. I didn't even know about their previous movies with all the softcore stuff and this and that, like until later on, of course. But I just thought like and that's like besides Little with McQuaid, that's the first Chuck Norris movie I saw. But I was all in with Cannon movies. Then American Ninja, I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
Like so. I was like, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I haven't watched the new Shogun. I watched a little bit of it. I got kind of bored, but the old one is cool. But yeah, the first movies I ever taped, like when I saw the Cannon logo, I wasn't ironically saying, "Oh, this is cool." I literally thought, "Oh, this will be a cool movie because it's Cannon."
Yeah.
Not in a haha, I'm winking at it or I'm distancing myself. I literally thought, oh shit, this is Cannon. Hell yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And I could not find a bad one. I watched that Cannon documentary they made a while back.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, and I was like, I legitimately loved all these movies. I don't think they're crap. I liked all of them. I was like, every movie they're talking about, I was like, I thought it was awesome. Like, Invasion USA is like the damn best, man.
Love that.
Like, it's just like it's so epic. I like this, like, just do it. Like
the finale alone in Invasion USA, they had that whole army and tanks and helicopters, and like they had 8,000 extras just shooting at each other on a city street somewhere.
They blew up an entire subdivision. They blew up an entire subdivision. Chuck Norris is Batman in that movie. Right. He just appears behind people and then disappears later. I'm like, he's fucking Batman.
And they got to blow up real houses because they were condemning those houses. So they're like, they got to actually shoot grenade launchers at them. It's like,
it was great. So Charlie,
that's Golden Globus though. They didn't care. They just wanted to be the thing in Hollywood entertainment or international, not even Hollywood. That they would. That's what doomed them. Like, because they were throwing money at everything. Then Superman, and then Over the Top. It's like. Which I watch
Over the Top.
Too. I watch. I'm like, I love Over the Top. I mean, I get emotional at the end when it's slow motion. It's like it's hard, like people. So, but
hello,
I still
Joe.
love it. Yeah. So
what is this? We're talking tonight about King Solomon's Mines and Allan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold, which are novels from the late 1800s. And Indiana Jones borrowed a lot from those novels, but then these movies borrowed from Indiana Jones. That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you're coming from my channel or if you're coming from Sean's channel. Sean can't make it tonight. He always comes on my stream, so I've decided to multicast to his channel as well. So I'm not sure if you're one of my people or if you're one of Sean's people. So there you go.
Or this guy that played Kazam. I love this guy. Like, the guy gets impelled by the door, and he's like, my door. Or
my,
like, my table. It's like, my statue. And then he points the gun at him. He's like, oh, yes, it's coming back to me. He was the greatest.
So, Charlie, when did you see these? When did you see these movies? Do you remember?
So I've always had a memory of these movies, but I'm pretty sure I did like you. I probably saw these on TV, like TBS or TNT had to be running these like Sunday afternoon, not even Saturday, because my grandmother had cable. We didn't. So it's the only way I could have seen these, and I'm sure it was back to back. And I'll be honest, I'm probably 30 years removed from the last time I watched one of these.
Wow.
So in my brain, but in my brain, I'm like, I remember these. I think these were fun. Like, I always associated it with Indiana Jones and all the other ones we talked about. Dude, I watched it yesterday and I watched it today, and I'm like, wow, it finally got me. It finally got me where I went, it's not the same. It is not the same as an adult. I rolled my eyes so. I mean, we have our own chat, so a lot of these guys already know. I was trying.
Yeah, so I need to move you to the bottom now. Unfortunately,
well, no, I totally agree with what he's saying, but
okay, well, then I'm moving him back.
It's not my opinion, but I can see where he's coming from.
That's about right, because that'd be the two teams.
No. Ross is about to be removed fully. So
I'm not going to say that I absolutely hate this and despise it. But I do. Ross, I'm kind of with you. The first one, at least. God, it took me a while to get through that. And I didn't pause. I was just like, oh, what are we doing? Is this over yet? I can't do this anymore. And I got one more movie to watch. Second one kept my attention way better. So I think I'm going to have to side with Owen that I like the second one a lot more. J-Man, you're 100% correct. That ending, the fuck is going on? Like, I don't even know what the objective at the end of the movie is.
Henry Silver's doing his Ben-Hur impersonation.
All of a sudden Henry Silva's in this movie.
Well, the afro. I don't know why he's like hacking away at that lion thing, and then it starts melting gold, and then
it's like
and then they ripped off the ending from Doc Savage, where somebody's like turned into a gold statue.
Yeah.
I had flashes to Doc Savage watching this. I really did. Doc Savage was 1,000 times better, although I got to admit, I had a lot of fun with that because it's first time watch. But I think the first one, I didn't know what I was getting into. It starts with a dude fucking getting annihilated by a spiked hammer into a door. And I went, shit, I thought this was a kid's movie. and start watching it, and then all of a sudden they're doing Looney Tune shit.
Yeah, there's Looney Tunes, there's gags. Yeah,
Chamberlain's dancing on top of a train while bullets are flying at his feet, and I'm like, wait a minute, and then blood will happen again. Then something funny, and I wanted to throw Sharon Stone out of the fucking plane at that moment, man. I'm like, I can't stand her. I will take Willie any day over Sharon Stone. Like, if anyone complains about Willie in the Indiana Jones movies,
I love Willie.
You've never watched Allan Quatermain. That
they learned all the wrong lessons from Willie in the Temple of Doom.
And I think
no, but she was useful. She did do the archaeology stuff. Even in the second one, she's
toned down.
She's toned down.
Yes.
I almost don't want to believe these were filmed concurrently, because I feel like the second one learned from its mistakes, even though they wouldn't have known they were mistakes. So I'm not 100% sure why the second one actually works better. But it does, even though it's a little bit more disjointed. But the first one, I'm in this mode of, am I watching Indiana Jones? I know Allan Quatermain came first, so Indiana Jones took a little bit of the Quatermain soul, but the Quatermain movies took its points from the Indiana Jones movies.
Right. Like, yes, those movies copied Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah. Marie in the barrel is Sharon Stone in the rug. Literally, we just went past that scene. Like, that's straight up taken out of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, literally, Mary. Yeah, it's like they're carrying Marion around. You don't know which barrel, and then you cut to this, and it's like they're carrying rugs. Finish your point, and I'll tell you why I think Lost City of Gold is better. There's two reasons, but anyways.
But I was really, as an older viewer now, because I'm so far removed, these are a bit silly, a bit comical. Not surprised when I remembered these were canon movies, going, oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
See, but that's where it works, though. I mean, I'll let you finish.
It does. You're right. It does, because you watch it now and you go, well, it's a canon movie. But but at 30 years ago, from when I was a kid, I didn't know what fucking canon meant. It was just fun Sunday afternoon, like you said, a lot of action happening. I'm not following the story as a kid. He's on an adventure. He's got to get here. Things are happening. I don't ever want to be an assistant or a henchman, because you are going to die in these movies. The second movie, they are counting down all of the people with them as they die. Well, Humbaku's left. I guess, it's like, that he's the only dude left in the boat. But yeah, that's my point. I'm way too far removed from these movies. I understand their charm. Will I ever watch these again? Probably not.
I'm going to watch them enough for you.
Then Godspeed, sir. Godspeed.
So Charlie, you will not be getting the 4Ks of these then.
I gotta say, I will abstain from the 4K umbrella release with T-shirts, a bull whip, even though there's no whip in the movie.
There's no whip in the movie.
But that's the joke.
So when the floor opens and then they fall and you can see the door and the stage actually go, you can see that in 4K with like perfect digital resolution.
My favorite was the whirlpool in the second one in the middle of the river, and then it slows down and you see the diver. Well, you see the diver underwater swimming away, because we see it in so much better definition. It's like you can't hide that anymore. Yeah. But there's a charm. And I'll leave it at that. I don't hate this, but there's definitely a charm. I've just outgrown it. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
I think King Solomon's Mines tried too much to merge, to do like Raiders and not just do the book and add action. Like, it's like, as you're saying, it's like, I try to find a screen to pause on. It's hard. But if I pause this in a certain way, is this Raiders or is this you're like, I can't even tell, because it was the same. Whereas Lost City of Gold is its own thing. It's not the same as Temple of Doom. It's not the same as Raiders. It's its own thing. And they followed the very basic outline, which is I need to go find, it's not the brother or whatever the crap it is here. He just goes off, and there's I don't even think there's a woman with them in that one either. But they do go through the caves. and they go through there's like the lava and whatever. There's like the war. They go in the book. They go through all of that, and they get to the Lost City, and it is gold. And there's the white race, and there's the two queens, and the two queens don't like each other, or they're against each other. So the overall thing followed it more, which is like, why didn't you just follow King Solomon's Mines? There's lots of stuff in that you could do, but King Solomon's Mines isn't an action movie. It's more like or action book. It's more like an exploration thing, and let's go and they hunt, they have to survive out, and they go in a desert, and there is the mountains and all of that stuff, the map, and okay, we got to figure this out. It's more just an adventure book, not an action adventure. It's just the adventuring parts. So they're like, let's just take the action from Raiders and put it into this, and it doesn't really work. Whereas Lost City of Gold, there is more adventuring. There's not as much action, but even the movie doesn't have as much action. It's actually like, no, they're going on this journey. So he gets shit together. Okay, I need a posse. Who wants to come with me? Oh, we're not going on that. There is a structure to it. King Solomon's Mines, it's just one long action scene that doesn't end, that doesn't really have anything to get excited for. You're just watching it and you're like, okay, either I care or I don't.
And you're thrown in the middle of the story. Yeah. So everything's already happened. Like, she's already with Quatermain. They're already looking for a deck. So you got that little exposition at the beginning where you don't even know who they are, with them translating the statue. And then it's like, oh, as we're going, oh, she's the daughter. Oh, they're looking for the dad. Wait, did he die? No, they killed that. So there's so much you're trying to process.
Right.
Like, it's like opening up a book in the middle and going, I'll figure out the front here in a second as I go.
That's actually kind of good screenwriting for this kind of movie, though. And you're working under the fallacy that there's a fifth Indiana Jones movie that Fleabag was in. That doesn't happen. That didn't exist. They never did that.
Yeah, there's not going to be any days that'll be on the Days of No Adventure.
It'll be the Days of Mourning.
Of the Days of Mourning, the crap of that. But yeah, so no, you're right, Ross. Like, that is a good place to start in the middle. But the problem is that, I mean, I love both these movies. Like, legit, I think they're great. They're super fun. I can watch them right now again. I just love them. So Lost City of Gold was better. I liked it more because I liked there's the trap, and I like that the floor open. That's cool. I like going through the caves. There's monsters in it. Allan is shooting. He's not trying to be Indiana Jones. He's just being his own character.
Right.
Whereas this one, they're obviously trying to make him Indiana Jones, and he's not really that. He just has guns. He should go and shoot things. Like, give him excuses to shoot. It's like, okay, it's like, you got to aim. So it's like he's dangling. Okay, I got to aim and shoot that thing. So he shoots the thing to push it back in the wall. He's doing more Allan Quatermain stuff from the books. He's a hunter and sharpshooter. Yeah. So you can see, so you guys saw LXG, and we will talk about that now that you mentioned that one, but like, you could see that Sean Connery would be the old version of Lost City of Gold's.
I see that way more now. You're right, because they go heavier on the sharpshooting.
Right.
That's all he was. Like,
that's all he was.
He hunted. Yeah. He was basically a guide for Sharon Stone in this. It's not like he was the hero that was supposed to save the day. He was a glorified guide to get
a soldier of fortune. He took jobs.
Yeah.
And like leading her, or like whatever the job was, like that's what a soldier of fortune does.
Yeah, and he's not really that. He's not that in the books, which is why the second movie, it's like it's about him. They gave him some fake brother or whatever, but it could have just been his friends. Like, oh, his friends need help. Okay, I'm going to go help my buddies. Like, it's not about I'm just hiring. I'm selling out to whoever can do. That's why when they even in LXG when they go to first get him and they're like, well, you're Allan Quatermain. Why don't you want to come help? He's like, I did my time. Like, I'm done. Like,
I'm retired.
I'm retired. Like,
well, the second one was more personal too. So that kind of, like that plot wise made it work better.
It works better. You're right, Sean. Exactly. This one is just like we're copying Indiana Jones.
It's Golden Globus, but like because like this is like because you have Belloc and the Germans, then you got John Rhys Davies in the German. It's like it's them doing. You could just see again. I always picture Golana Goes being like, "I need more Raiders. I need more Raiders." It's like
and they're pulling him back, going, "We're gonna get sued. We're gonna get sued."
This is like the Great White movie that came out and the Jaws people.
It's the same but different. Same but different.
Yeah, same but different.
And they even named the second movie Allan Quatermain in the Lost City Go because of Indiana Jones.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
so it's like
true.
Yeah.
Well, King Solomon's Mines was kind of a brand at that time because of all the other remakes that came before it. So people knew King Solomon's Mines more than they knew Allan Quatermain, and then they made Quatermain, and then when they made this one, it was popular enough that the Allan Quatermain name was worth something. And if you put any character's name and the mosh pit of death or whatever,
right,
then it suddenly becomes like, it sounds like Indiana Jones.
I can't with the pot.
And they put the vegetables.
They spent a lot of money on that pot, and they want you to know. They want you to see.
My God, they were in that pot forever. I swear.
But look. Okay. But look, there's people there. There is people like craftsmen and stuff. Like they're trying to replicate Indiana Jones as best as they can. That's the fault. Just make your own movie. Like
and they run into 8,000 tribes. It's like it's like okay. Now they got the hanging people. Now it's like
that was neat.
But no, it's just after a while you're just like, okay, are they bad or good? It's like
who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys? Who's
gonna eat us and who's gonna help us? Oh, the hanging people are gonna help us. Oh, they're giving her jewelry. It's like okay.
So normally shifts in tone don't bother me, especially if they're made like Hong Kong movies or Indian movies where suddenly like people are dying and then all of a sudden Three Stooges shit kicks in and then all of a sudden this one bothered me because you had the guy who played the head German is the commissioner from the Inspector Clouseau movies, right? and there's all and Salah's in it, and there's like all this goofy shit going on, but like the Arab, like he holds the dynamite and then he explodes. Had that been real life, that would have been a horrific thing to see, and it became a recurring gag. I got it in the movie. Yeah. And then in this scene, they show all these extras around the pot, and you're going along with the pot scene, and then next thing you know, there's like hundreds of corpses lying on the field, like these guys just like slaughtered all these people, and everybody's kind of like, I guess we have to move on to the next set piece, don't we?
That was such an insane transition shot.
No, but the best was they're in the pot. And they start making out because there's a lion that won't let them leave, and then they show them all getting massacred. It's like,
it's like what the hell?
I don't know why that guy.
Oh, this part right here. Freeze at this part. Yeah, she's like, and then she's like begging. She's like, please, I love him. Like the guy's gonna be like, oh, okay, you love him. Well, let's pull him back up then.
Well, actually, like she keeps yelling, "Let him down." I'm like, they are. They are. He's almost in the crocodile's mouth. He's going, like, gone.
He's almost there. He's almost there. Oh, and then he's just hanging in front of a big screen. I mean,
this is fake.
It just looks that looks bad. Like I can't handle. Like I was watching and I'm like, yeah, that just looks ridiculous. It's like, but I forgive it because I love it.
Bajillion extras in these movies for the natives and everything. So even the other one, which was a little cheaper looking, in my opinion.
Or the explosions. Like the explosions look like mirages, and they're actually running, and the explosions are in front of them.
It's in front of them at the end. Yeah. I caught that. The overlay overlaid them.
That's cheap.
And even
I got so tired of their helper guy always in the fucking movie like this.
Oh, and then he turns out to be the big, he's like
a big chief, but he's supposed to be like your strong dude. Like what James Earl Jones ends up being in this. James Earl, that's right. You heard me right. James Earl Jones. Yeah, but this awesome, dude in this movie sits on that train.
Yeah, he doesn't
the whole damn time.
He's B.A. Baracus. He can't go on.
Don't you bad about B.A. Baracus like that.
I'm not bad nothing. I'm only pointing out
about B.A. like that.
I ain't getting on no train.
I'm only pointing out the similarities between two characters. That's it.
That's why. I got my A-Team lunchbox right up there.
I like the A-Team.
You
remember the episode of A-Team where that guy dies?
No,
no, you don't remember that.
Exactly.
Wait,
Remember that time they booked
I'm gonna
something?
go watch it as soon as we're done.
See, that was another one of the tone shifts in this thing. They play that like dogfight with the German biplane pilot, like for laughs, like the slapsticky thing, and then he dies in this like fireball of death. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler.
Oh, he's German.
And like it wasn't like the A-Team where like, you know, it probably would have gone wah wah and fallen into the water or something like that.
Well, yeah, they would have fired a bunch of bullets that hit nothing, and then they still would have won. My favorite thing though about this was the gag with the record that kept playing Wagner, Flight of the Valkyrie.
Geez,
but then, because I was like, all right, I'm even starting to get tired of it. Then they used the plane to do the Flight of the Valkyrie scene where it's coming at them, and I went, okay, you set up a joke that I actually enjoy
funny.
now.
Yeah,
I did like that whole payoff,
like a Family Guy bit, and they started incorporating it into the regular Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack. That was another thing. I was like, holy shit, Jerry Goldsmith did the soundtrack. It's like we couldn't hire John Williams. Let's get Jerry Goldsmith because he was like the other guy from that time.
still just as good. That's
the music was good. So again, as I said, if you look up IMDb and read what the story is, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's one of these things where when you watch the movie, it's like, well, there's just so many weird gags that like kind of don't work. Some of them do, some of them don't. For me, it all works because I just love it all. But like,
you've got the nostalgia for it, but it is disjointed. That's the
issue.
Oh,
big time, big time. And actually, Lost City of Gold we'll get to that in a minute. But like, Lost City of Gold is actually like, it's way better structured. It has more of a thing. It's just the last literally 15. We'll find the exact spot. You can pause it on when it just falls apart. They get to the sea, like, okay, everything makes sense. They have to go through this crap to get there. They get there. The brother's there, okay, with some people. And then all of a sudden, it's like after that guy comes and he breaks his head on that thing and he blows up the thing. And then he goes, oh, if you could do that, why don't you destroy our sacrificing thing? They destroy that. And then literally from that point on, no storyline. It's like, oh, these rebels, we have to help them. What's going on? I will
say this. Like, I didn't think the music in the second one was as good. It was like this. It's like they composed all this like heroic theme music, like 10 minutes of heroic theme music.
And that's all there is.
Like randomly in the background.
Oh, they overplayed it.
Just below this.
They reused the first soundtrack and only recorded 30 more minutes.
Yep.
There is no, I've got the soundtrack.
Exactly
I've got the soundtrack to Lost City of Gold. I'll tell you, it is very, very short. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm never gonna. Why do I have like 4 million things here? Oh my goodness. Okay, Allan Quatermain. So Lost City of Gold is 33 minutes.
Yeah,
of
and
music. That's nothing.
Over on a loop randomly in the background to have music. But the thing
and then hold on, I've got the other one too. And King Solomon's Mines, just as a comparison, King Solomon's Mines is 54 minutes.
And 15 minutes of that is Wagner. So there you go.
Yeah. No. This is like Jerry's.
So I was going to ask you a question, J-Man, or you guys, since you're all experts on this. And I didn't bother to look it up because I just wanted to know if you know off the top of your head. So the brother's name in the second movie, I believe his name is Robeson.
Yes.
Robeson. Was that in the original book, or could that be a Doc Savage homage?
I don't remember any. The thing is, okay, so the Allan Quatermain books by H. Rider Haggard or whatever, they're in order, but the next one is the last one. Like the second book is like the last adventure, and then there's like stuff in between where he has a wife and kids, and he loses a kid, and then he has another son, and loses that son. So I don't know if the brother was in a later book. And then they put him in there. He's not in that book, but that doesn't mean he doesn't exist. He could just be dead or something.
Right. You just haven't read the whole series yet.
Yeah, because it's I know the books do this all the time, where it's like there's like 20 Allan Quatermain books, but book 20 is the third one you should read. Like if you put them in order, it's same as Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is first. It's before Raiders because he's literally a fortune and glory.
Yeah.
Like Short Round literally says fortune and glory, and he makes fun of that in Raiders. You're like, well, wait a minute, that's what you were in part 2. No. Part 2 is before that. it's like that's how I learned to be a big hero at the end, because I saved all the kids and all that. So
well, you got to think there's some writers out there, because it's probably not all the same exact writer. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I want to do one where he
Sure.
before he ever got to that. So let's
Conan
write
is
that
like
one.
that.
Yeah. So if you want to do it linear in timeline, you got to jump around, or you just read it as he was written.
Yeah,
And
like
you
the
just
Dr.
kind of
Slim,
Yeah,
Dr. Slim books work like that too. The first book is like the whole story, and
yeah.
then every sequel is just like a chunk of that main story.
Well,
Yeah.
Phoenix and the Sword, that's the first Conan. I think he's the king in that one. So the first Conan story, he's the king in it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, what the heck is that? Like, he's the
Well,
king.
they
Okay,
had
it's
no
King
idea.
Conan.
They were just throwing stuff against the wall to see what
And
sticks.
hope for the best. Yeah.
And also, like, because technically, some of the Doc Savage books, like, I'm sure Lester Dent read the Allan Quatermain books and borrowed some of that for Doc Savage, right? So
Probably.
I would imagine. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's all cut from the same cloth. So
The problem is, by the time Allan Quatermain, the book comes around, Allan himself is done. I'm done with all this. It's more like he's like the character that you saw in LXG. It's that one. Like Alan Moore, because they're literary characters, he could, steal them or borrow them and make his versions. Yeah. He could do whatever he wanted. So he's just basically saying in the books that, Allan Quatermain is addicted to opium and stuff, and it's all like he
always done a weird bastardization of heroes, and
right.
It's his way of deconstructing heroes.
Yeah,
that's Alan Moore. That's his thing. That's Watchmen. That's League of Extraordinary. He just loves to take something everybody loves and tear it apart.
I'm okay with really Watchmen,
but it works sometimes,
right? Because Watchmen is fake, not fake, but they're not characters.
They're not beloved characters. Exactly.
Right. I don't want Allan Quatermain to be an idiot.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
He went too far with Leak. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, that's my thing. Anything
I'd rather see a comic about Richard Chamberlain. Like I'd want to see Richard Chamberlain in the comic doing stuff with the League. That's
Sean Connery is like, I thought he was awesome in that movie. I'm shocked that people were like, "Oh, this is terrible," and he like. We'll talk about that in depth because I actually have a lot.
Oh yeah, I really want to get into that one.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
We're kind of talking about Quatermain, so it fits. But I believe Richard Chamberlain to me seems like a young Sean Connery when you watch. It works really well. This I liked. I liked the little going across the foot things.
Mm-hmm. And that was neat.
Tricking him into stepping on the right one. The diamonds have to stay in the mountain. I was like, okay, of course it does. I don't need to get paid for what I'm doing today.
With
yes, vindictive. That's exactly.
He's like, I'm going to destroy these. Now in the movie, we'll talk about it in the movie. But yeah, the movie actually gave them more powers because Mina is cured of vampirism and she's not a vampire. Technically, it's left open in Dracula the novel. Like, is Mina a vampire or not? But she's not. She was bitten, but not a vampire.
Especially she's mostly just immortal, right? Like
she should. But she's literally. I mean, in that Alex G movie, they just made her a vampire woman.
Oh, well, that's easy Hollywoodism. Like, we're not going to explain the minutia of vampirism. She's a vampire.
Which is why I liked it better.
Why they gave us the explanation of who Dorian Gray was in the movie, because how many people read the book of Dorian Gray?
So I love. Okay, I did read Dorian Gray 100 million years ago. My wife read it not too long ago. It's one of her favorite books. The best is that they turn him into this immortal, weird, this like immortal, like psychotic guy. I'm like, this is awesome. It's like nobody ever interpreted that you could shoot the crap out of them and it's just dust because it's the painting dust and it's like you can't actually hurt him. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I don't think Oscar Wilde was thinking, now he's like this immortal guy where he's gonna become this like anti-superhero. It's like, what?
Not even a thought crossed his mind about
I don't think that thought crossed his mind in that time period.
But I bet he would have loved the movie.
I bet you he would have. He would have been like, yeah, my guy's awesome. So, okay, Ross, when did you see these? Did you see them when they came out or no?
Pretty much every movie we do on this thing, I saw in real time at the perfect time to see it.
Okay.
So, like, starting with Star Wars, I was like 10 years old, saw it in the theater. Wow. I was like just out of high school when these came out, and saw them both in the theater. We had a local theater called the Rosemead 4. It was a Cineplex, and pretty much any Cannon movie, Roger Corman movie, ninja movie, slasher horror movie from companies that have long since gone, they played at the Rosemead 4. Or because I'm kind of near LA, that we had a lot of movie theaters at one point, so
Right.
I was able to see pretty much. I was very, very lucky and got to see pretty much everything. So I was right out of high school. My mom would literally take my brother and me out of, like, after we saw Raiders of the Lost Ark at a sneak preview, not even knowing who Indiana Jones was or what a Raider of the Lost Ark was going to be. We were like hardcore Indiana Jones fans, and I had like 2 or 3 friends in high school. I had one guy who would cosplay as Indiana Jones in high school, and he got in trouble because he brought an actual bullwhip on the campus.
Oh my God, that is awesome!
And he couldn't grow a beard, so he just put like black or brown schmutz on his face to do the beard thing. So we were really hardcore, and there was like a theater in Pasadena where like after movies kind of ran their course, it would play there for a while for $1.75. So they would go like every Tuesday night for $1.75 for as long as it played there and watch it. And they tried to Rocky Horror it up a little bit, but the audience didn't seem to care much for that idea. But yeah, so we were very, very hardcore. So I was like in it for the 2 of us. We were in it for this one, and I remember not liking it that much. And this was on the back of liking almost all of the other Cannon movies. And then same thing with the second one. And when I had Bad Movie Night, some of those same guys came to Bad Movie Night, and for whatever reason, we just never got around to watching these again. And we just talked about it. Oh yeah, Richard Chamberlain, blah blah blah, and we make jokes about it, but we never bothered to watch it for Bad Movie Night. So this is the first time I've seen it like since 1985 in the theater.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was kind of looking forward. So I saw the first one, and then like the reason I was like right here at the very last minute is I literally just finished watching the second one because I was putting it off all weekend.
Wow.
So
like, okay, we're gonna at the end of this, we're gonna ask Charlie the hard question, and that's gonna be Star Crash or whichever one you like better out of these two.
No.
For Velocity Gold, because Charlie is not a fan of Star Crash, but we're gonna ask the hard question. So Charlie, you've got about an hour to think about this.
No, Charlie, I understand why. And J-Man, see, that's why we can be civil on this thing, because everything you guys have said, everything you guys have said as fans of it.
Yeah,
I get it. I understand it. I understand it now. But I also think that these movies really have not aged well, and these work totally on the steam of nostalgia, but like StarCraft, they either work well on nostalgia, or if I were going to have the guys back for a Bad Movie Night, I'd throw these up like, hey, we never got around to these, and we'd probably have a great time with them again.
Right.
But like Star Crash, I think you could watch now, and there's enough pieces in it to keep your interest from beginning to end. Like I've seen it with people who've never seen it before, and they've laughed at the right places and gone, at the right places as well. It's just the millennial videos with millennials reviewing it and saying it's terrible. They just totally don't get it, and it's like their opinion's crap. But like hearing you talk about it, it's like I get like this one, and when we did the He-Man thing, it's like, especially the He-Man thing, I really understand them better now. I can appreciate them through your eyes, even though I'll probably never watch them again.
Sorry, you meant the cartoon. For some reason, I was thinking, Masters, because I legitimately like that movie.
Masters. See again, Masters of the Universe, the Dolph one. I legitimately love that. I really like. I saw Electric Boogaloo in the theater twice. So I mean, I'm a Cannon fan on a lot of different levels, but. I saw Life Force a bunch of times too, but
that's a great movie. I love Life Force. That's awesome.
A 12-year-old watching Life Force is the greatest movie experience.
Probably.
The thing with Cannon,
it's not
movies,
for Steve Rausback, let me tell you.
It was for Sir Patrick Stewart. Okay, that's what it was for.
That's we know.
They knew what they were doing when they made that movie. You know what? We're gonna put sci-fi and all this weird shit, and then a woman walking around naked for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It sounded like it's like this one on paper. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And then it plays out the way it plays out. But the funny thing is, like, I think the reason why some of these canon movies get their asses kicked over a Roger Corman movie that's much even worse is that, like, the Roger Corman movies are aggressively cheap. Like every corner that he cuts, like, is also on there on screen.
Mhm.
And the canon guys threw money at these movies, and they still came out the way they did. So it's like the Roger Corman movies might have like one guy you remember from a TV show, or one guy who isn't quite a star yet, or whatever. But you get the 3 Bs, you get the boobs, you get the beast, you get the blood. And then these movies, it's like, I remember Richard Chamberlain from all those big budget miniseries on TV. I remember the guy from the Inspector Clouseau movies, and I remember Sala. You know, it's like, and I remember Jerry Goldsmith. It's all these like big things and big set pieces and big locations and everything. Like they tried to make an Indiana Jones movie with an almost Indiana Jones budget, and it came out like a Roger Corman movie. That's the problem with these.
Right.
The bottom line with canon, and I'll bottom line it for you, is
Sure.
Their problem is they made so many movies within a year. Some movies suffered more than, like, if I watch Delta Force and Invasion, there is nothing wrong technically from a standpoint when I watch those movies. Those movies are friggin' awesome. So what happens is, like, they threw so much money into marketing and advertising for movies that didn't even get made. So that's where a lot of the money was going to. So that's why some of these movies look like King Solomon's Mines, because there wasn't enough money to go around, you know. But like when they were making the Chuck Norris movies and even some of the Charles Bronson movies and stuff like that, I mean, in terms of the action, it was more grounded, like, than King Solomon's Mines. So that's the problem with King Solomon's Mines, is like because Richard Chamberlain said, he's like, they said, oh, we're gonna make this for $5 million. Then when he was filming it, like, this is no $5 million.
And
$2.50. $2.50.
That was a studio film back then. And the thing is too, like you said, with the Chuck Norris movie, when it's dudes with machine guns in a mall and explosions and cars, they're unsurpassed. But when you have to like build a city or build a prop, but even this movie, it's like, we got a biplane, we got 2 biplanes.
Even like Superman, now you got to have Superman flying around. Like Superman 4 has way worse effects than Superman 1.
That's why they really shot themselves in the foot with Superman.
How can they do, if you look at Superman 1 and then you look at Superman 2, where literally the city is destroyed by the Phantom Zone criminals, how you know, like, and the flying effects of Superman 3 are bloody awesome. And then you're going from that and you're like, what the hell happened in Superman 4? Why does this look like crap? Like, it looks terrible. And there's two Supermans, because they had Nuclear Man. You're like, it looks crap when he flies too. It's like, it just looks bad. And like, Canon, you guys don't have, like, my imaginative mind fills in the gaps. Like when I'm watching Superman, I'm like, it's Superman flying around and he's fighting a nuclear guy. This is the best movie, right? Yeah. But then if you're looking at it from, well, I just watched Superman 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, my wife had never seen all 4 of them. She saw part 1 in the theater, and maybe part 2 as well. But we watched them all, and she actually liked them all. We watched them all. And it's like, whoa, this looks way worse.
Or did she see the Bollywood Superman with that?
No, she saw the Christopher
numbers that they keep showing on YouTube.
She's not a Superman. She loves the Superman movie. She owns them herself in her own private collection, but she only likes Christopher Reeve Superman. She's not a Superman fan to say I like any Superman interpretation.
She likes Christopher Reeve as Superman. Yeah.
So she removes her. So I'm okay with someone saying, like, even for Zack Snyder, saying, I'm a fan of the Zack Snyder take on DC. Not, I'm a Superman fan. How dare you not like Man of Steel? Well, if you like Man of Steel, you're not a Superman fan, because that's not Superman. That's an action movie with a guy in it called Superman who flies around, right? But it's not Superman. So, and you can like that movie, just like the movie, and say, yeah, I know it's not Superman, but it has cool action. Just say that, and then and then it's all forget. But don't pretend like that's the meaning of what Superman is. Same with this new movie. He doesn't look like Superman, so it's not him.
Right, J-Man? Every chance you get to say that.
I know, because it's pissing me off now. It's pissing me off then. It's pissing me off more now. Now everyone's retracting their Snyderverse stuff. They're like, well, that was not good anyway. This James Gunn one is going to be better. You lying pieces of shit. You literally loved the Zack Snyder version. And now you're jumping on James Gunn version. Guess what? It also sucks. The both of them suck.
Henry Cavill was a good Superman.
For sure. Henry Cavill's he looked good. Like, you saw that guy's face. This is a Superman stream, so we'll just end it here. But like, you saw that guy's face, you're like, yeah, that looks like no. When I saw the face, like they said, this Henry Cavill's like, oh shit, yeah, this is it, man. Holy shit.
He looks like Superman.
He's Superman. He's the real Superman. Like, he looks like real life Superman. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought Brandon Routh looked good too. When they first showed him, I was like, yeah, he looks good.
Great. He looked a good Christopher Reeve blend. Like, I had no problem with Roth as
no problem with him. Yeah.
The movie itself, though, I loved Lex Luthor in that. I mean, I nailed it. Thought it was great.
It looks good. Yeah, but no, everyone looks good. Like, Henry Cavill looked good. Like, that was like, and I liked Ben Affleck. I remember people were kind of like meh on that. I thought maybe this guy's going to be a good Batman. He looks like the best Bruce Wayne for me.
I'll agree with that.
Christian Bale is the best Bruce Wayne because of his acting and all of that. But Ben Affleck looked good. Like, I'm like, yeah, he looks like a good.
He was a good combination of looks and acting.
Yeah, he's good.
He was a different Bruce Wayne too. He was a world weary kind of Bruce Wayne. You know, like, he took shit way more seriously than even the Christian Bale's all about vengeance and what he's doing. Right. You could tell Ben Affleck paid attention to the numbers of the business as well as been Batman, and it worked that way. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's good. Yeah.
But to bring it back to the canon thing, which we have to, because this is Quatermain, this is also considered one of the movies that started the downhill trope. Is if canon had just stuck with, like, what we were saying, what you guys knew, bombs, bullets, explosions, bombastic movies for not a lot of money, pop them into theaters fast, spit another one out. How many American Ninjas can we do? 12? Let's do them. But they got so in their own heads that they love movies. We want to be a movie studio. And they were playing catch up the entire time.
Yeah.
Perfectly said.
Yeah, and they that too, and they tried to get they got Stallone, and Stallone wasn't stupid. Stallone's like, I know this movie is gonna suck, and it's gonna probably almost ruin my career, but you're gonna give me a shitload of money for it. His money for that movie was 10 times what some of these movies they made for. So that's another thing too. So
easily
them getting Stallone for Over the Top was another, like, monkey in the wrench.
Again, I will do this on Owen's stream perhaps one time, but I like Over the Top. But the thing is that I don't have this notion that this is going to be like a Rocky picture. Because, like, it's an arm wrestling match. It's not that exciting. You can't go back and forth. It's like, it's
a family drama. It's
a draw. It's a family. It's the connecting with the son. Yeah, that's what the movie's about. So they got to market it.
His character was so likable in that movie.
He was likable.
His Lincoln
he was like the ultimate dad.
Yeah, he's
in
awesome.
That movie. I'm like, I watched that. I remember watching it with my ex-wife, and I had kids at that. I was like, I want to be as good as Sylvester Stallone is in Over the Top.
John, you need a truck. Get you a truck, John. Start driving truck. Get you a hat. Turn that switch on.
That's right.
Did Cannon make Rhinestone too? As well?
What's that?
I don't know, but I don't know.
Rhinestone?
I don't think Cannon did Rhinestone.
Was that a Cannon film?
No.
Okay.
That was not Cannon. No, they probably would have, but no, they.
What they should do is remake Over the Top as a Rocky parody, but have Will Ferrell play the Stallone role.
No,
can we not ever do that? No.
Ross, wow, this is the master of bad takes. Like,
we have a band hammer beam. We need one of those.
Hold on a second.
That's one of those movies they're gonna make. Then they're gonna say it's unreleasable. That's what.
Yeah, here you go.
No, it's a question of intelligence. So your opinion has very little relevance.
Yeah, no.
And I'm throwing this one in.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
And that's why they'll throw $100 million at it.
You're not wrong, and that's what we're trying to stop.
Modern audiences.
Here's
Studio
the
execs, man. Gotta love them.
The modern audience, you know what? The modern audience wants what the old audience wanted. They wanted to enjoy themselves.
Yep.
But here's the problem. They now claim to enjoy themselves a lot more than they actually do or can express that they do. So you get a lot of people walking out saying, I thought that was really good. And then they name things that were good about it. Well, I thought the action was good. Oh, so the action wasn't good in Total Recall. No, the action was great. Okay, so what are you giving me here? What do you mean
what are you comparing it to? What? Yeah.
Okay, so the action was good. Okay, what else is good? It's like nothing. Okay, so the action was good. Well, there's lots of good action movies, so I don't know what you're talking about. Like
this notion of a modern audience is bullshit anyway, because we're still watching them. There's no such thing as a modern audience. It's still the same people going and watching movies, and the same people that don't bother watching movies.
Guys, we're not a modern audience. We're not like the 20-year-olds that they want to go get to see them.
But they're not watching movies. So we're still technically the modern audience.
Here's why I kind of got out of doing reviews for. I'm like, I still do them, but it's like few and far between. Like, Owen does he does reviews on everything, but like I saw Warfare over the weekend. I'm like, I'm figuring out how to try to write a review for that movie because that's an experience. But a lot of times I write a review and I'm like 3.5. Yeah, I liked it. I'm not.
Yeah, that's what Owen does. I make fun of him.
Yeah, I mean, but I didn't hate it though. That I'm telling the truth. I'm like, this is why this is what I like. This is what I didn't like. But at the end of the day, it's not Raiders of the Lost Ark or it's not Invasion USA.
Right.
It's like it was a good action movie. It had some enjoyable parts in it. It had some good characters in it. There was a kick-ass action scene and 3.5. I mean, I'm not lying.
Warfare would be one I would consider would be a modern audience because it's made for the Call of Duty bros. It's like you like playing all these war games and Battlefront and everything. Here, watch Warfare.
Have you seen Warfare?
No, but I've read the reviews and seen some of the stuff on it. So
I literally I went to see it, right? And I don't remember in a long time when a movie ended and the credits were going, I just sat there and I was thinking about it because it's not a movie. I can't explain it. It's like all these guys, this movie should win an Academy Award. All these guys in the movie should win Academy Awards because of the job that they did and the training that they did and performing that they did to honor these men because it's a real situation that they're doing. And there's no plot to it. It's just them in an observation mission and it goes totally shitballs. And I just can't, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. It's a perfect movie to me. So.
All right, let me hit this. Let me get our thank you, for the $5. Now we are going to be covering Cobra in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to multi-stream it from my channel, but it's going to be on Action Elite under their banner. But I'm going to stream it multi from my channel as well, so you can make sure you can catch it. Your theory is that Cobra is actually a self-aware parody. Interesting. Stallone is making fun of the super cop genre. Watch it with that in mind. It's awesome. Okay, so I watched. Spoilers for the stream when the Action Elite is in a couple weeks, but I effing love Cobra. I
never say parody in my mind when I'm watching Cobra.
From the poster,
to
the very beginning to the very end, it's bloody awesome.
Oh, it's perfect.
I love everything about it.
It's perfect merging of slasher film and action movie.
Yeah, we do these streams on the Action Elite. I mean, we're gonna do this one, but it's gonna be we're gonna get clipped by a bunch of shill channels. They're gonna be like, look at these idiots. Oh, it's so good, and that, but that, I don't know what. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say. And the thing is, and I will say bad stuff. So. If I'm the negative person on that stream and I'm telling you it's 10 out of 10, then the stream's over.
It's more fun to talk about movies you love than movies you hated. I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours and tell me why this movie was. I mean, I'll do it in 5 minutes, but
right. We need to find one we need to find one where half of us hate it and half of us love it. It's hard to do that.
Which one? We just did one. Which one was it? Oh, it was Land of Bad.
Oh yeah,
I did not hate that movie. I thought it was.
But I loved it.
I didn't really care for it. I didn't despise it.
I was listening to Charlie. I was like,
yeah. So we weren't dying over that one. So let me give you. So for
I'm not.
buddy, let me give you. Hold on. I'll give you Pink Ranger smile. How about Supergirl smile?
There you go.
How about
I'm not in love with these movies, and I'm not in love with. I wasn't in love with the He-Man movies, but I can sit here and listen to you guys talk about it, and I'll throw in. I'll be like the color commentary periodically to point out the lamer parts that I thought I, as an old man,
right.
Of what of these or
of like the action type things we're talking about.
I was talking to Brian Thompson about it, and just listen to him get me behind the scenes stuff. I was like,
this is the greatest. But like with Cobra, that movie does play like Stallone was the only one in on the joke. And I wonder if it was his idea to do the thing with the scissors and the pizza.
I mean, I can kind of see it, and I'm not discrediting RR's thoughts on it, because the only reason I'd be like, I think he's not playing it more as a parody, because then he goes and does Tango and Cash, which is a parody on the super cop genre.
In his brain,
the action movie.
Well, Cobra is Beverly Hills Cop. For those that don't know,
yes,
that's a redo of his original script for Beverly Hills Cop. Then they went a different direction. He got out of it, took his own story, left them with what they did with the comedy, and then he developed it into Cobra. I think it was something he was definitely wanting to get out. But I could potentially see where someone would be like, it's so over the top of a cop, one man army kind of deal. That it could be looked at as a bit of a parody. It's every one of them. That's raw deal.
He wasn't a one-man army. He had his partner who got shot right away in the finale.
Right,
got shot immediately in the finale,
and he was over the top too.
Listen, we can't talk about because we got to talk about that on the street. But the last thing I'll say about it, Stallone was dead serious making that movie, and he just wanted to make a badass cop movie, and that's that's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
I'm done.
But what you're saying about like loving stuff, I had technical problems getting in on Dragon Slayer, but literally it would have been like 2.5 hours of me saying it's great, everything's great, the music's great, so like I'd dip in and then like the stream would freeze up on me, but it's like that's pretty much all I had to say was how great it was. So
and we all have those movies,
you're talking about the newer movies. Like I think the last two movies I remember going to see in the theater and then following up with on DVD or Blu-ray as many times as I could were the two Zorro movies we did, or the first Zorro especially, and the first couple of Blade movies, and then Guardians of the Galaxy of the MCU stuff, and then everything else. It's like maybe I'd see it once, maybe twice in the theater.
I think I saw Blade 3 times. I saw Blade 3 times. I saw Dark City twice. I saw. What's the other one you meant? You mentioned another one. 300. I saw that 3 times.
Yeah, well, a lot of them I've seen like 2 or 3 times, and maybe 2 or 3 were in the theater. But and Casino Royale, I saw that one like a crap load of times in the theater, and then saw it a bunch of times.
The new garbage version, like the Daniel garbage one.
Yeah, well, I mean that was.
We weren't saying it was garbage when it came out. Stop it, Jake.
Oh, I was.
Same director.
Do you mean that one I hate?
Same director as Mask of Zorro, but the series did drop off quickly after that one. But so anyway, so I mean, like back then, like up until like maybe 10 years ago, I'd see a movie. Oh, and John Carter. Okay, so maybe that I feel now it's become a Monty Python thing. Aside from aqueducts and sanitation, what have the Romans given us? So there have been some movies periodically that I'll get like all excited about and go see in the theater a bunch of times, but they've gotten fewer and farther between.
Oh, 100%.
Like Masters of the Universe, I saw a bunch of times in the theater, and that was, it's been a long time since there's been a movie like that where it's the lesser film. Well, I don't think that movie would get played in theaters now because it'd be like we got 20 screens and 15 of them are playing something by Disney.
Yeah,
and then one of them,
and they're still not making money with all those screens.
Huh?
Yeah, but
They're not. Yeah, they're not.
and Disney's still not making money running on all those screens.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to Lost City of Gold.
Oh yeah, we're doing Allan Quatermain, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, when Owen and I did it on his channel, that should be up on the Action Elite. So guys, make sure you're subscribed to the Action Elite. The link is in the description of this video, plus all my other videos, plus all my guest links are available in all my videos and this video, and I've been posting them periodically through this stream. So make sure you guys are subscribed, checked out everything, whatever. Okay. So I love this poster. I've got the actual poster hanging up. It's just off screen. You're not going to be able to see it. I also have the Temple of Doom poster here. So I love these adventure kind of posters.
Mhm.
This one, I just was loving it so much. I didn't think too much, like, does the story make sense in the end? Because the story, it actually flows pretty good. And there's not as much action as King Solomon's Mines, but there's more meaning behind what's going on. It's like he's about to get married. He finds out that his brother and his friends are lost because they went to this city and they never came back.
Right.
So he has to go out and find them. And Sharon Stone comes along the way. She's annoying, but not I want to stab her in the face. Annoying.
She's way toned down.
She's
Yeah.
way toned down.
Way. That's why I'm so hard to believe these were filmed consecutively.
I don't know what happened, but she's more useful. They give her the coin and the knife and
And she
like,
shoots people too. She gets in on the action more. Like at the end too. She's
yep. And it's all good. They go to the temple. It is there. The Lost City of Gold's there. It's not a cop-out thing. It is a city of gold. The white race is there. And the queens are there. Everything is there. And then just that there's just like this big action scene. I think they just like, we ran out of money. We can't shoot all these things that we wanted to. Just have an action scene at the end, and they fight, and then that's the end of it.
Right.
I don't even know what they're fighting for. I never
it's
got
like
the
a Lord of the
impression.
Rings ending, like where it's this big assault on a castle.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's neat. It is neat. There's a lot going on. And then you got that
What's
side
the
characters
objective?
being weird.
What's
Yeah.
the objective, though?
What
Henry
is the
Sylvaster's
objective?
pissed off. That's the objective.
Well, he feels so. The story is that Allan Quatermain displays, certain abilities which he uses either dynamite or trickery or whatever to
Or his
and
vest that he
the
wears.
the
magic
chainmail. And I love how okay, so I gotta say something. And okay, look, I'm gonna see if I can find a thing. But literally, his chest is open to here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank
So-
you.
So where is now behind him? You can see it. And we'll see if we can find a spot. But there's times when he turns around and his back is torn up, and you can see the shining thing underneath. So for some reason, it's like
Chest
fallen down. And I'm like, but he's getting hit in the chest. It's like he's dead. Like it's like you have to hit him in the belly button for it to work because the shirt is like pulled down. I don't get it. But again, on paper, and it is better because there is traps and there's actual, okay, we got to pass this thing. Oh, we're on the way. Okay, now we have to go through this cave system. Okay, then there's these monsters we got to shoot and fight.
The Fright Zone monsters.
The Fright
Tell
Zone
me
is-
they did not look like the hand puppet from Fright.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
like-
thought, and they come out of the walls. Like, I literally was
exactly
like, it's the Fright Zone. I know. And
That's
John,
exactly
it was
what
funny
I
was, so Charlie and I, we did that, the Secret of the Sword not too long ago, and then John happened to come on when we were doing the play sets and stuff. And then we just saw the Fright Zone. It was so funny. We're like, oh my god, it's the Fright Zone in this movie,
Yes.
which is great. Stallone's a very intelligent man. He definitely is intelligent.
Yeah, 100%.
Over the top in Cobra on purpose, but he's only in on the joke. He wants to do a comedy. I'm gonna watch it again. I haven't seen Cobra in a while, so I'm gonna watch that again, just to take notes and stuff. But next week is Abraxas, then it's In Hell, then it's Cobra. So it's May 7th.
Yeah,
And that's on Action Elite, not here, right?
right.
Not here.
Yeah, it's going
It's going to be multi-streamed,
Yeah.
but I'm going to. I will technically be on Action Elite, and my stream will coast.
Is there a limit to, because can you like stream it on mine too? Do you want
You have to get Owen's. Owen has to give you the permission to do it or whatever. Can you do mine? Can you do it on mine from here? Like, can you
I
add
never tried it.
I think you can only have 2 on my plan. I can only have 2.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
So, it's obviously Sean, since he does every stream with me. But like now I'm on Owen, so that's 2 for him. So I don't know if he has a different plan that can allow him to do more, but you can see, but also it only works if you have the full StreamYard, and Owen doesn't always renew his right. So
I have the full StreamYard. I do the full.
You paid for the StreamYard?
Yeah, I'm single. I could do whatever the hell I want.
Okay, so you can add people. You can make them an admin and add them. Okay. And then so how many? Yeah, see how many you can do. Okay. Anyways, so I'm telling you, Stallone. Okay, so yeah, we caught that. So yeah, I like City of Gold. I guess there's no point in doing a versus. Does everyone think this movie is better, or is there someone who thinks?
I think City of Gold is way better.
Second one, by far. I mean, there's no contest in terms of I mean, if anything, like the first one, like adrenaline wise, I guess, but like there's too much, and like the choreography if the choreography was memorable, it'd probably be a lot better for me. So yeah.
All right, Ross, you think the second one's better?
To me, one's better for one reason. They're equal for different reasons. But as far as like it being an action movie that has consistent action and doesn't start and stop the way the first one does, I guess it's a little smoother, yeah. Right. And it's got Elvira in it in a non-speaking role, so that makes it
I didn't need her to talk.
No,
yeah,
it looks fine to me.
No.
My wife came in at that moment where they're in that temple, and I went, "You want to see Elvira out of costume?" And pointed at the thing, and like all this insanity was going on, and she's like, "Thank you for not watching this in the house." So you're welcome.
Pulls out a big sword.
Yeah, really big sword.
Yeah, Ross wasn't. So Charlie wasn't here, and Ross was half here for Dragon Slayer, but everyone
half.
I can tell you, it's an amazing movie. I didn't need to be here for that one. The dragon still holds up today. Okay, that's all there is to it.
For the time, especially, and for there being no other live action Lord of the Rings ish type of fantasies, that movie is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And also, to remind you, J-Man, there's like 2 weeks. Next week I can't be here at all, and the week after that I think I can come in hot like an hour into the stream.
We haven't decided for next week. Hey, Resurrect. So just to let you know that yes, that's what these movies are. But Allan Quatermain is like 100 years. No, is he 100 years? He's 100 years. Yeah, he's 100 years before Indiana Jones. So if you go by the books,
it was 100 years from 1885. So 1985 was 100. Yeah, so whatever movie came out at that point, and then add 40 years, he's 140 years removed from the books right now. Which is insane.
And he's 100 before Indiana Jones.
Yeah, 100 before Indy.
Yeah, so just because I don't want the Allan Quatermain character to be besmirched based on these movies, he's an awesome character, and he predates all of these guys. So, he was an Indiana Jones.
The old movies, not being Indiana Jones ripoffs, just being closer to the book, were probably. I think the Stuart Granger one is still regarded as a classic.
We'll take a look at some screenshots from them. So,
well, how did I got a question though, and this is pertinent to Allan Quatermain, but it's also pertinent to what we've been doing lately. How was this never turned into like a pulp type character? That we've talked about with the Shadow and all these other characters we've been doing. Like this kind of fits. Do it more of a pulpy adventure story. Kind of like a Doc Samson-ish. Kind of thing. Why did this never happen?
Yeah, so the Race Rex is saying he was a member of the LXG, and just also I know you spelt it this way, but there's no R after the A. These movies irritate the crap out of me because they keep saying quarter, and I'm like, it's not quarter. There's no R there. It's like stop giving it an extra R. And this movie and Sharon Stone was the worst offender in this. Yeah. She kept saying it wrong. I'm like,
she enunciated it.
She enunciated. And the funny thing, she's like, Quatermain. And the funniest thing is, I think Ebert said it was Leonard Maltin who said it's pretty bad when the stars don't even bother to say the name correct.
Yeah. If she had an English accent, just said Quatermain or whatever, then it'd be like, okay, well, that's fine.
We don't need Sharon Stone doing.
We don't care.
We don't need Sharon Stone doing an English accent.
That is true. And we're gonna cover and we're gonna definitely do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie. And we can compare it to the books if you want. I read the first 2 volumes So I don't know how many issues that was,
I'd
probably
have to
8
look.
volumes or something.
Yeah, I'd have to look and watch them again or read them
Sharon
again.
Stone, yeah.
I mean, she's hot, and honestly, in the first movie, I swear her clothes got shorter and
They
shorter
did.
and
They
shorter
did.
as the
Yeah,
movie
them
went.
shorts. Holy
Yeah, the
By
short
the end,
The funny part though in this one we're talking about now, she's wearing leather pants. That how hot is that in the African?
she got wet when they did
Yeah.
the river scene, which we got to talk about that river scene,
Well, she
boys.
tears off her clothes and she's like in her underwear.
Oh my God, yeah.
For no reason, because it's a
Right
Cannon
there.
movie.
It's not sexy underwear though.
No,
Yeah.
that
grandma.
old timey.
It's like
Granny
grandma
panties.
underwear.
1920s
Yeah.
underwear.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
grandma got some kids out of those underwears. Okay, that's how that worked. It worked for grandpa.
And there's James Earl Jones going,
I
I was in Star Wars and Conan.
totally
Remember that.
forgot he was
He,
in this movie.
he did this for the paycheck and a trip to Africa. That's what he said.
There you go.
Well, that's fine. And I always do enjoy James Earl Jones in a movie. He has a giant axe too, so I'm going to be happy about that the entire time.
Yeah, come on, man. There's a lot of cool stuff in this movie.
And
There is
he,
some cool stuff.
he delivers some of the best Braveheart-worthy speeches in this movie. He
does.
just
Yeah.
yelling them out left and right in this movie. 'Cause
I
he's
like how he just keeps.
He's like, they're like, he's James Earl Jones. Let him go with this.
He keeps trying to kill Shawarma or whatever the fuck his
Yeah.
name is in here.
Shawarma.
Oh,
The reason I asked about Mork and Mindy was that there was a character called Exidor on Mork and Mindy, who was like this local kook who was like sort of like this insane prophet who would talk to himself, and
Yeah.
that was Shawarma from this. And like Mork and Mindy was a huge. I don't know about in Canada. But Mork
Yeah, I
and Mindy
watched it. And I had the toy in the egg. I had Mork in the egg.
Yeah,
I watched
that
it
was
in
like a huge
syndication,
cultural
yeah.
thing back in the day. Like when I was in. Now I was a kid when that came on. I was the perfect age to think that was the funniest thing I would ever see on TV. And I vividly remember Exidor, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's in this movie," and he's really not funny. He was funny on Mork and Mindy.
Yeah,
I like Mork and Mindy. I have to rewatch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time. Like a lot of these shows, because I watched anything as a kid, it just like no matter what it was, I just watch it. But then I go back and like I can't stand Gilligan's Island. Like I used to think that was such I just despise Gilligan so badly. I just can't take him. He's like the worst.
man.
I think I would murder him if I was on that island. I think I would legit murder him, and then we would eat him. They'd wake up in the morning and we'd be frying Gilligan on the spit or whatever.
Making Gilligan bacon over in the skillet that morning.
Anybody want to Gilligan? What do you want? You want a thigh or?
Now that the statute of limitations has passed on a lot of these things from the 70s and 80s, more and more stories about exactly how many drugs and how much cocaine was being used on set was being used. So like you watch Mork and Mindy now, it's like, yes, sir, your cocaine is showing, because I used to think the Gong Show was the funniest show ever, and you watch that and you can see like after the commercial break how what they must have been doing during the commercial break, and it's just I was reading a book about the making of the Blues Brothers, which is that's one of the movies I've probably seen the most. And it's just John Belushi was so gone, and when I watched it on the Blu-ray, you could see you could literally see his eyes through the sunglasses.
How glazed he is! You could almost see the powder under his nose.
Clammy looking, and it's miserable watching him because and the story, and then the movie just becomes not funny anymore because like all this crazy stuff happened behind the scenes because they were like all out of their minds, and it's like. He would just turn up at people's houses and they would just destroy shit. And I was like, that is,
kind of kills the magic a little bit.
Yeah. Suddenly the movie's not so funny anymore because it's not just like, anyway.
So Racer's saying this character would definitely not be included.
No,
none of them would. James Earl Jones's character would have been included in this. This is all stereotyped.
Nobody was offended in the 80s. Yeah, James Earl
Yeah.
Jones,
no.
like he came out of a Flintstones movie. I mean, that's like
I mean, the way they just hand wave it away whenever the natives get killed. Even in the second movie, they're like, "Okay, we're going to go on to their land. We got to go through their land to get to the city." It's like, "Yeah, they don't want you on your land." It's like, "Okay, then we'll just shoot them." They lined up their boats and they were like, no, don't come on our land. Okay.
Well, he's literally trying to find help, and he's like, well, these guys are going to rob you. These guys are going to leave you. Those guys are going to eat you. And they're all caricatures of African tribes, out there. And then, fucking James Earl Jones comes out. I'm like, I hope you got paid well, sir. I hope you got paid well for that role.
Oh, it's fine. Those tribes would eat you. It's fine. Haven't you seen Cannibal Holocaust?
I'm not saying I have seen that.
Yeah.
Have you seen White Cannibal Queen? That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Green Inferno.
How did they know when they went to the City of Gold there wouldn't be a tribe of white people, but they'd be cannibals?
Right. They don't know.
Not know
they're going to rescue their friends and his brother.
Yeah. His brother, I read, that was his partner who played his brother in this movie.
Oh, was it?
Oh, that
yeah.
makes perfect sense.
That's good. That's all right.
Again, really good acting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the way they hugged when they first met.
That's a brotherly love hug, sir. Brotherly love.
Yeah, no way. Nobody knew anything.
No.
Yes, he plays Aramis in the Musketeers pictures, which I own all those as well. And Aramis is like sort of the ladies' man of the Musketeers. Athos is I lost, the Lady de Winter and all that. I effed her over. And then you've got Porthos who just will do anything, but like he's not the lover. He's just like the womanizer-ish guy and loves life. But like Aramis is sort of like I'm like the cool kind of guy.
He's the cool guy. He's also still always the religious one.
He's the religious one who also happens to be
the
cool
womanizer.
He's not a womanizer. He's just very slick and people like him.
Yeah.
And Porthos is the fun-loving guy. So all that's included, like eating and drinking and wine and women and all that. Mm-hmm. He did the dueling scenes, those stunt doubles. Yeah. No. Oh, well, those movies are great. Richard Lester, who did Superman 2 and 3.
Guess who also did? Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said stunts. I said, guess who also did all their own stunts? Everyone in these Allan Quatermain movies did all their own stunts.
No, there's only 5 stunt guys in the credits.
Yeah, there's only 5 guys. Well, I will say, with special mention to the puppets that are in the water scene, I just could not stop laughing of the little animatronic, little oar.
Like today,
when you saw those movies, John, when you saw these movies in the theater, you didn't notice all that stuff.
Oh God, no, he wouldn't.
The between the projection and the grain of the film and the shittiness of a theater in the mid '80s, a lot of this stuff you notice now with perfect digital, even DVD quality, is way better than I remember seeing this in the theater.
You wouldn't have noticed like them switching over to a puppet in the water scene, or a lot of times the green screens wouldn't have been as prominent watching it in the theater back in the 80s. You weren't catching up on that.
No, well, you did see that, but I mean, like when I said about the guy, like, they in the throne room when the floor opens up and they kind of like bounce off the door and the set kind of wobbles, all that kind of stuff. You would not have seen that in the theater back in the day. The film grain and everything else, and the projector kind of, the flickering of the film. I mean, I'm making it sound like a silent movie practically, but
no, but you're not wrong. I mean, there's a lot of movies we talk about like, oh wow, we can see it all now.
Yeah, and if
Double Impact is terrible. Like Double Impact's my second favorite Van Damme movie, and if you ask me on the right day, it might be my favorite Van Damme movie. And it looked very good on VHS, and even on DVD, it looked very good. And then I saw some of it on Blu-ray, and I did not buy it. I actually
can almost see the.
You can literally see it's like that looks terrible.
Yeah.
So I do not have Double Impact on Blu-ray.
But you love it so much that you're like, that's fine.
Yeah.
On DVD, you can't tell. It still looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Something happens in the transfer, like the shadow, that Furba dagger. It
looked horrible. I know.
In the theater, looked freaking awesome. Like that was like early CGI, and
it looked awesome,
really cool. And that transfer looks terrible. And Star Wars too. I never saw white boxes around all the ships when I saw it.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you watch the upgraded, not fixed ones,
So no. On VHS, I saw the boxes.
Oh, you can see them on the VHSs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't watched my VHSs in years, so
100%. Not on Jedi. They fixed it by then because it's it's every movement's the flash, the photography, right? So it's like you can see that flash. It's like, and you could see where it's been like cut. But look, this is awesome, man. Like they're walking this pit opens up. This is super cool. Like I'm a kid. I'm like, oh shit, this is badass. Like, yeah.
And that was yet another one of those mood changes where like the dude comes sliding out of the chute and like his face goes like.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, where the hell did that right there? Jeez.
Right, they're playing everything for laughs, so far, and the guy's like, "Oh, I can't press the button again," blah 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 blah, and then this thing comes sliding out, and it's like, and it's not bad enough that he's a desiccated corpse. Then his face like splits open, and then it's like even gnarlier still. And it's like, wow.
Well, it was like they went, because I mean, if you remember, like some of the Indiana Jones movies are graphic. They rip a heart out of a dude's chest.
Yeah.
Another guy turns into it's later, but turns into a skeleton and all that. The other guy melts.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're probably like, oh, we need to put that level of shock in these movies because that's exactly what it feels like. There's no reason for this scene right here. Like, there's no call other than for some reason Allan Quatermain recognizes him. Like, it was whatever his name.
Yeah, because like in Temple of Doom, they would do that temple scene, and then like there might be a line of dialogue that kind of lightens up a little bit, but for the most part, that entire scene is played for maximum horror and darkness.
Yes,
and then they give you a little chance to take a breath, and then like Kate Capshaw starts screaming, or Short Round says something funny in the next scene or whatever. This movie will play like a dog fight where like. It's basically like a chitty bang bang kind of slapstick bit, and then the guy dies in this flaming death down below, or somebody gets eaten by whatever, an alligator.
Well, the perfect example of how nonchalant they are about it is a little bit later in the movie when he finds his brother and they're talking, and he goes, the guy at the beginning of the movie that dies from the fever, he's like, "Oh, so he got to you? He told you about us? How is he?" He goes, "He's dead, but I found you." I'm like,
they super didn't care.
Like, okay, well, that's done. Like, I thought these guys were all like friends,
he was
brothers. It was just like, nah, he dead. Yeah,
life is
sorry.
For that sort.
He served his purpose and he died.
Yeah,
he got me here. That's all he needed to do. He got me here.
Right.
But it's just so blasé. Like when all the helpers, like these were, from what I understood, it was is named James Earl Jones's tribe. Those guys with him were part of his tribe in the boats, and they're literally counting them down as they die. Well, we already lost one. We only got one left, and then he just floats right into the damn column of fire coming out of the water. They make a point to go, this water's boiling hot, and they're touching things. But their escape is a giant rock falls in and causes their boat to fill up with what? Boiling water. And they act like it's nothing when they come out. And she's just more mad that she's wet. I'm like, well, that water was boiling.
At least they did the gold thing at the end when for reasons, the gold's melting off and people are like screaming because the gold paint
it's hitting them.
It isn't like in Doc Savage where everybody's getting splattered by molten gold.
They're trying to fill their pockets with the molten gold.
Fill your pocket with
I was waiting for that. Although I'll give Henry Silva some credit, man. Dipping people in the gold, never seen that before. Never seen that as a torture move.
And he's having so much fun doing it.
He's having a ball.
Yeah, he's laughing. He's having a good time. He's like,
those people coming like they're stretched out almost.
Right.
The way they come
they're all the same poses too. They're all like,
there's some of the puppets. There's
there's the puppets right there.
Yeah.
I just got tickled by it. I didn't say I hated
it. I know that. Oh yeah.
I thought I was just like, that's awesome. They went. Honestly, I was surprised. Cannon's like, we need puppets in this movie. And their little arms just move so fucking stiff to move the oars. There you go. Oh, so good.
God,
no, that is great. Yeah, and I think John's wearing that today. Is it Ninja?
It's my
3
Cannon
today?
shirt. That's right.
Yeah, Ninja 3.
I didn't dig my Cannon shirt out. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. I got black on. It's fine.
Oh well, that was a good pause.
We did a Ninja High School cover.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, I bet a lot of. No, I'm not.
No ifs, ands, or never mind.
How many lucky men got to see that view?
A lot, apparently, according to the behind the scenes.
On this filming.
not as many as the Basic Instinct scene. All of a sudden, everyone showed up to set that day. So, guys, it's just going to be a closed set. We only need a couple of people. No, I'll be. I should be there for all of the production. I really should be there. And you're just an extra. No, but I really need to get the.
So to be fair, I heard Dolph Lundgren was the same way on the Masters of the Universe set, and there was a line of women on the crew that were like outside his dressing room.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, he's wearing nothing throughout the whole
I want one of these heads, and I want my own fright zone, and put that head in my fright zone.
I'm gonna.
These things were cool as shit. I love these.
I like how the one grabs the other one, like they're like cannibals. It's like
I also like the thing that jumped out of the water that you barely see.
Yes, I agree with that. No, John made an excellent point. They didn't have to do that. They added some personality because the one that was dead, the other ones tried to go eat it. They added some personality to that. They didn't need to. I thought they, up until the last 15, and I like the fight. I wish that this movie was 10 minutes longer just to explain why there is a fight.
Why there was fighting.
I'll agree with that.
That's it. I the first movie, there's too many goofy gags and Sharon Stone is super irritating. But I legitimately like this second movie. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. There's some weirdness, but like it is fun and there is a cool story. They're going to this lost city. This is pretty cool. They get there and like a lot of neat. It's kind of neat, but it's just like what? Like you can't just drop a story. You know, it's like
you can't. It's
the same with Superman 4. All of a sudden, Nuclear Men, they eliminated one of the nuclear men, right? Because there's two nuclear men. And then all of a sudden he's like, I want the woman. How do you know her? Why do you want her? Who is she to you? What is happening? It's like, well, that's because he attacked when she was there at the when they went to go workout. And he saw her and formed a bond with her because he looked at her and liked her. And that's why he came back for her when he was the other version of Nuclear Man. And that's why Superman knew he would go there. He's like, oh, he'll come back. And the only memory he has is from when I last defeated him and he saw the girl. So he's going to go back to that to find her. That's all gone. So you're just like, he just shows, I want the woman. It's like, what is happening here? Like,
it makes zero sense. But
Daniel, thank you for coming on the stream.
That's my bro, Daniel. So he listens to our podcasts and stuff like that. So what's up, brother? What I like so much about this with the monsters that they added that level to is because the one thing that shocked me in the first one was that whatever it was that popped up and ate the German guy. Because I'm like,
right,
is that a creature? Is that a statue? Is that a booby trap?
What it looked like a deformed hippopotamus.
It did, but I was like, what exactly? It's kind of like the robot that pops up in Red Sonja that they're having to fight in the water. But I was like, where was that in this movie, in the first one? And now in this one, it's like, oh, we're going to throw creatures you've never seen. That's how off in a far land, an unexplored area, the lost city, there's everything out there that no one's ever seen before. I dug that. And I think that's one of the reasons I lean more towards this one than the first one, is I just got so much more with it. Dude, Quick and the Dead is fantastic.
Yeah, that's an awesome movie. Yeah, I like Quick and the Dead. I saw that in the theater. Yeah, finally, you losers. I saw something in the theater, too. So I'm sick of these guys. Oh, I saw it in the theater. Did you see Ben-Hur in the theater?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Did you really? Oh, that's good.
I did.
No.
And when it came out? Superman 4.
I unfortunately saw the remake of Ben-Hur.
I saw it at a revival theater.
Okay, so that doesn't count.
Home, so there you go.
Revivals is for bullshit. It's for losers.
Well, I didn't say I liked it, but
this was revival theaters when revival theaters were cool before the hipsters ruined it.
I got to see a lot of cool stuff. I got to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 1 in the theater. I saw a lot of awesome horror movies that they would get the actual prints for, and our print of Texas Chainsaw Massacre burned. The very last shot where Leatherface is just swinging around, it just went on fire. I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, we're the last people to see that particular last reel.
There ain't no stopping that one.
That would actually make it even cooler to see that.
It was so cool. Like, I saw Evil Dead 1 in the theater also. Halloween 1.
You got to see the film.
I saw that the week it came out in the theater. Like nobody knew what was going to happen after that music played.
Oh, that's
all those
awesome.
jump scares. You didn't know who the killer was going to be.
Yeah,
So
you still don't know. I mean, I guess you know it's Michael, but
yeah.
Michael Myers. They told you, and they told you.
Same thing with
Michael.
Friday the 13th. I saw that. Like we didn't know. We just assumed it was going to be Jason. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
There's well, he does come at the very end, I guess. There they
Yeah.
are. Like,
We
there's a
just-
lot of
we
good
didn't know-
stuff.
we
See,
didn't
this
know
whole
what to
section was
expect.
good. So look, this whole section's pretty good. Like, basically, like from here on, this whole section's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like this section of the movie. Also,
Then-
great sets and locations too, where they're filming this one.
Yeah.
I really like this. I gotta say, Henry Silva's a bad cast for this. I'm just gonna say,
What?
I don't. To me, he just does not fit this movie. Like, it just, you could have got anyone else but Henry Silva for this.
So I have a Henry Silva story. Do you want to hear
Okay.
it or no?
Sure. Is it under 35 minutes?
I tried to do it. I took some rain, so my 35-minute stories take 15 minutes now.
There we go.
Make it 5.
So we had been invited by a guy who worked on The Simpsons to go to this Hollywood eatery called, I think it was called The Bush or something. It's in one of those movies with Danny DeVito where he plays like a movie mogul. So we were supposed to meet the guy there, and it was one of these dark lit Hollywood bistros, and everybody has a little candle thing on their table. And we're sitting there like a couple of yokels, looking around like, who's famous? And right within eyeshot of us is Henry Silva sitting at a table, and he's got this candlelight right underneath him, and he's not talking. Nobody else is at the table. He's by himself, and he's
That's
looking.
awesome.
Well, you can't see me because I'm. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, do you have a picture? I don't know how that's going to
He's
look.
looking like
He's got-
this.
He had the
Okay.
glow
Oh,
of the
the glow,
candle.
yeah.
Yeah,
And we're going like, holy shit! Even
that would
just
be terrifying.
Even just waiting for food, he's scary.
Yeah,
He's
I
probably
believe that.
thinking about like, well, when I get home, I got to go, feed the dog, and the wife's probably going to want to watch the news or something. But he looked like he was planning to take over a city full of white people or something.
He was sitting there thinking, like, I used to dip people in gold.
Yeah.
Probably would have been
what a
thrilled if she
time.
noticed.
I got to talk to Princess Ardala.
Yeah, so the two princesses are in the book.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed that Elvira never spoke or did anything. She was just kind of there to be there.
I think they might have thought once she spoke, it would take you out of the movie because she has a very distinctive voice.
I mean, it's possible that she couldn't play it off, but again, they start adding things like that. Her and the other queen are like at odds with each other. Oh yeah, they
That's
did the
movie
comic. Daniel.
Could you imagine if Ken had made that movie
Uh-huh.
with Dolph and Christopher
We'd-
Reeve? Holy
We would
shit!
love that.
So, yeah. I saw that comment by your buddy. I was like, well, let me pull this sucker. You don't get too many opportunities in life.
That's
Or
true.
someone randomly says on an Allan Quatermain stream, what if there's He-Man and Superman together? It's like, well, here you go.
Hey, the classics put the toys out at Toys R Us exclusives. You could get the Superman versus He-Man
Mhm.
2-pack, but
I
Yeah,
do have that, I think.
I like.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the queen, the sister queens in here, but it's like they're throwing things in here and they never get around to it. Like they're at odds with each other, like the Elvira ones on the side of Henry Silva, the good one. Like I got the feeling that the brother and the good one had a thing going on, and that never got
Yeah,
explained or
nothing panned out.
anything from
Yeah.
that. You know,
There
because
was
they're
some
giving each
editing
other.
going on. There was a
Obviously, there had to be.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
just
it was Henry Silva with the Gene Simmons wig. That was
that's
off.
exactly what's killing me here, right, man?
Yeah.
It's just not.
And his outfit.
Yeah, I'm not buying. This is not Henry Silva-esque costuming for me.
But see, the you was talking about like I wish there was more of the movie. I'd like to know why, because to me this set looked like a piece of shit, and they kept coming back to it. This throne room, it didn't look good. It looked like some kind of town hall, like veterans hall thing that they put some decoration on or whatever, or maybe a Mexican restaurant.
I mean, yeah, the terracotta tile on the bottom in the Palace of Gold doesn't quite sell it.
Yeah, those are pretty paper mache. For thrones, those are pretty paper mache looking thrones. But having
I like
said,
it.
No, having said that though, that Temple of Doom knockoff set they had looked freaking great. Like that's where the big finale should have been.
Right. Yeah. I know.
Indiana Jones, if we're gonna rip off Indiana Jones, have the big action set piece be in the Temple of Doom, not this thing with this crap on the floor.
That looks like carpet. That looks like carpet really around the medallion. Carpet. Yeah, it does.
Or like when he opens it up, you can see one of the sections get stuck when it opens
up.
Like
shutters. Yeah.
This looks like the padding that they put on the floor in Gymboree for kids. So they look at
Listen, the ending would have been better if they had actually fought, but like he threw the spear at him, and then they all got scared and ran away. And I'm like,
bounced off his chest.
It?
Yeah, like you took an ink pen and went. Yeah, okay.
but he's wearing that shirt. But again, look how we'll get a good shot of it. We'll get a good shot of his V-neck here. It's like
it's all the way down.
Well,
his knee rail is a V rail. That's what that's
they couldn't cover his chest hair up. I mean, Christ.
Apparently, you can sweat through that magic spear.
Because he's sweating.
You can see the sweat.
And he held that apple through the whole thing. I was like impressed. I'm like, he still has.
Look at that.
That Cassandra Peterson shot came out better. This is fantastic.
Is there a making of that says that this set burnt to the ground? They couldn't use it after the.
I don't know, but if you look at the trailer, one of our Racer X, I believe, mentioned this earlier in the chat, saying he goes, "Oh, there's a lot of scenes, there's a lot of fake scenes from the fake trailer or whatever, where the trailer has all this like epic shit going on. Like Sharon Stone is like caught in one of the cable cars and stuff, and you're like, okay, where is all of this? Like, I don't know if they shot her or what. I would love to see Superman 4 needs to be fixed, and there is a guy on the internet that fixed all the Superman 4 problems, like with Lacey Warfield, who is her dad takes over the Daily Planet. Yeah. She's carried into space. He changed it so that she's still in the atmosphere. Like he just didn't get to space. This guy changed it. And then remember the part where Superman literally has like telekinesis and rebuilds the wall? He's like, it's like all he did was make a blurry Superman image go fast and rebuild the wall.
Which works so much better.
Right. He fixed all of the tech issues where this looked, and when he dumps Nuclear Man into the volcano, it erupts and then it forms a thing and then it sucks the energy. Like he fixed it all with CGI. It's awesome. Just look, I'm not going to put the link, just go to YouTube and say Superman 4 fixed or something, and then that'll show it. It's really neat.
I have to confess something, J-Man. I barely remember that movie. Superman.
Well, I mean, I've seen it
like once or twice, and I did not
remember the growing fingernails of doom. You know,
I did not see it in the theater. I did not see it in the theater, and I
no.
Or the slow motion battle on the moon.
Slow motion battle.
Christopher Reeve.
The main villain's a Chippendale dancer. It's totally fun.
Mark Pillow.
Yeah,
there are tons of channels that review canon movies, but if we were to do a canon versus PM Entertainment, that would be
dude. We'd have to pick around on that one.
PM made so much more action movies than Canon did. It's not
right.
PM did what Canon dropped the ball on. What I was saying, if Canon had kept doing what they were doing, PM would have worked for them.
Yeah.
You know, that's how that would have ran.
Yeah, and PM came along too late in the game too. They were strictly direct to video. I don't think anything they did, or very little.
I think maybe some early ones did, but it was they were like not mid 90s, but early 90s, and just went straight to video.
So hold on, I want to show you guys. See, look, you can see this now. You can see this on Blu-ray. He has the silver shirt underneath.
Yeah, because of the tears.
The tears, and then later here, see, look, he's supposed to be wearing the shirt here, but look, it would start here.
Right.
Like I don't see it at all anywhere here, so it would be here, and then he stands up. Like, okay, look, where is it? It should be here. Yep. Right, like it should be across
it's above that first button right there. That's about as far up as it went.
So when they go here and they drop the guy, okay. Oh, look at this. She may as well have the shirt on.
Yeah.
No,
I don't believe her and Cassandra are sisters. Okay, that's just all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch now when the guy. Oh, there you go. There's
Yeah, one got all of one thing and the other one got all of something else. You know?
Yeah.
Right. But they are in that book. See, look, he's ready to take this like hit to the axe. But look, where is it? Where is this shirt?
Not even there.
You're nitpicking Golan and Globus, Jay, man.
Yeah.
See, look, she's not wearing one either.
Henry Silva's got a better, more protective covering there.
He's wearing a giant piece of gold on his chest.
Yeah, nothing's going through that sucker.
I like this. I'm out of dynamite.
Yeah.
Right.
Considering that he was smoking dynamite in the first one. It's done. Boom, bam.
I don't understand the cultural significance of just using an axe on it. Like, were they trying to say that it was impossible to break, but his metal axe could break it? I guess, is that what they were saying?
They're saying they're taking it out that he's a god,
right?
And that he can do all this stuff. But yeah, it's like there's a curse on the table that Silva put on it, and she wants him to break it. Yet everyone's just standing there watching it happen. Like, wouldn't Silva not want this to happen?
Well, he didn't. Yeah, and it's going to happen.
No, but you know what? The Henry Silva character is an interesting character because they just didn't explore the character. But what they say is that he also just showed up here and started to take over. So the implication is that he was a lot smarter than these people, and he
like an outsider.
Yeah, he used that to get control.
Yeah, he's like a fraud as well and would understand.
Right. So he should be a bit more savvy and be like, oh crap, I know what dynamite is and I know how you're doing that. You know what I mean? And, try to like do it that way.
I would have liked that better than the brother being like, well, I taught him English, so be careful what you say around him.
Yeah,
it would have been cool that if Silva, like you said, hell, even if he's super old, you could have played up on that thing and been like, he came from our area, but maybe not as recently, maybe
right
years removed or something. But that's just, and again, John, you're 100% right. It's canon. We're putting way too much on what canon was going to give us.
Maybe he was a descendant of Gene Simmons because look, he's got like metal all over his costume. He likes gold.
It's the hair. It's the hair that looks. It looks like no makeup Gene. That era.
Yeah, that's like Family Jewels Gene right there.
The early 90s.
Stuntmen in the back with the hoods on who've probably been killed at least 6 times in this movie.
They have. They have.
That's the Gene Simmons from Lick It Up right there, everybody.
There it is.
These guys are
walking, just shaking his fist at everybody.
Yeah, and he's like, and they're like, what? And it's like post-apocalyptic. It's like, what is going on in this music?
This makes no sense. It doesn't matter.
But they're singing "Lick It Up." Who cares?
Eric Carr's over there, just happy to be involved. Like, I am here. I'm part of Kiss.
I'm in it. This is like the LLL instead of the cake.
I had the same thought.
Like, what
it's
is
reverse
this?
racism.
It's reverse or whatever, right?
I can't see fucking shit out of these things.
I'm like, this is the LLL or
you can hear Globus in the background going, somebody make sure you cut the holes in the right places.
That's right.
Racer, you weren't joining. You weren't here in the. I love these movies. I have this movie poster on my wall there.
Says, I don't hate this movie. I'm like, oh, okay.
No,
he also doesn't say he loves this movie. I just want to point that out.
No.
Oh no, Cece, I can't put this on there.
No.
Oh
no, can't put it on the screen.
Not enough baby oil on the screen.
I can't do that one. Yeah, no, that oh my god. You know what? That individual saw this movie and thought this is a good look for me.
They probably filmed it in Africa or someplace where they didn't even.
They didn't know. They didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Tribe of white people, it's about 50-50 of races in this tribe of the white people, where it doesn't even feel like it's a special thing. So like very odd.
They all look like they came from Switzerland.
And they're all blonde.
This is about where they're supposed to be okay, so in the book, where I am in the book right now, they actually got to the city. So they've got the 2 queens there. They find the tribe, but it's all white. But they're not white like we're white guys. They're pale white.
They're super, Africans is what I read it as. Like
but like pale white. Like they're like it's like the guy's shirt white. So it's like this very weird lost race. And I think they even have white hair too. I can't remember exactly, but it's it's a weird thing. It's not
That's
just
an actual skin condition. That
I was gonna say there's actually like that people that are African American. There's ones that are like
they
like
get
powder white. They look like the the guy from Powder. But then you also have like the midnight black.
It's an albino race.
It's kinda, but not quite. I don't think they call it albinoism. It's still considered that. But I when I read that, J-Man, I was like, it's because they said white Africans. I was like, that's kind of what I think they're alluding to is non-pigment. I guess that would be the PC way to say this.
So here's where now the movie just becomes a bunch of action for no reason, and there's just a big battle.
There's a giant army on Silva's side. Where did all those guys come from? Like,
look at this.
It was that crazy guy. The crazy guy with the horn.
Like 20 people in the city.
But still, like, it never showed that there would be this many people.
Yeah, so these are the outsiders who have been trying to storm the castle. So Silva's priest character has infiltrated and tried to use these people for his own gains or whatever, sort of ish, because we're not really it's not really said what he's trying to actually do. He's just a bad guy because he's bad.
They call the good queen calls the guy with the horns like they're our protectors. They protect our gate from our one. I think she says like our one undefensible area, like the one way someone could come in.
And that's where the gold drips from. So basically, Allan and team. This becomes Army of Darkness. This becomes like, proto Army of Darkness here, where you just have to defend that one spot. And these guys are all coming in. So Silva's basically like, okay, I'm done with these people. I just want to destroy this place and take it over fully instead of going through all of this crap of, there's sacrifices and I'm a god. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm not a god. Allan proved that he wasn't a god because he broke the sacred seal, which is supposed to be magically protected and unbreakable, which is to say that the gods want sacrifices. I'm in charge because I'm the only one who can understand the gods. This kind of stuff. That's a lot of reading into it. Like,
how many times did you have to see this movie before you sussed all that out?
I've seen it many times, just because I've seen it. So
making up.
Well, that's why he got mad. That's why he got mad, and he formed this army. I mean, they obviously didn't show the scene where he like enticed them.
I think it's because we've seen this type of story in other things.
They were just like, F it. Just bring him in.
And again, the scene of him explaining this is probably sitting on a cutting room floor.
Yes.
It's like, we don't need it, because they were notorious of get to the action, and snip out anything that didn't make any sense.
Well,
to them, it didn't make sense.
Maybe because Gene Simmons is the god of thunder, Quatermain had to go on the roof and be the god of lightning.
God of lightning.
And that's why the lightning kept hitting the axe.
That was
melting the gold.
I like this, but also
she lands on him.
She lands on him, but man, when Quatermain just goes and knocks him off into the thing, I busted out laughing.
I like how he was able to jump through that trellis and knowing that it was going to break as soon as he hit it. What if it was made out of gold? Clang.
I like how they end abruptly too, and then they kiss, and then
it just stops.
That's it.
Boom. Name front and center.
There's the 5-step men. It's like, like the brother. I forget what the brother says. He says something and just walks off, and then they're like, "Oh," and then they start kissing, and it's like, "Oh, we're done."
Yeah, I was waiting for the queen and him to kiss or something. I guess he was like, "I'm not doing that scene."
We ran out of movie.
Not paying him extra for that.
I wonder if we can see. The problem is I can't put the trailer on. That'll ding me. I wonder if I can maybe hold on. Let me see if I can maybe pause a bit at some of the trailer bits to show you guys.
What I do, you make it in that small. I have not been dinged. I do my trailer technical, and I make it the smallest screen you can. Where I'm super
if we're
big.
Talking about it, that's called transformative.
Yeah. So that's how I get away, and I haven't been dinged yet.
Trailer. Let me see.
But you could just see Golan yelling at the end, like, "We're over budget. We're over budget. End the movie. End the movie." It's like,
when I searched for Allan Quatermain, our live stream came up, so that's kind of cool.
But it's like, how many movies have we read that they stopped it before it even had an ending? Hell, even He-Man, Masters of the Universe didn't have an ending, and they ended it, and they had to go back and fix it. It happens all the damn time.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, do you guys remember a comic called Concrete?
Concrete? No.
No.
You should track this one down. You'll dig it. Concrete was this. He kind of looked like Ben Grimm, except he was like rounder and smoother. He was a big rock dude, and it was kind of a slice of life comic. He wanted to be a travel writer, and during the I think it was probably the heyday was probably like the late '80s of comics when the indies were starting to get like legit, and Sandman was. People were talking about Sandman like it was literature, and even League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like, oh wow, we're talking about literary characters now. So Concrete did this 4-issue arc where he goes on this movie set, and what it was Paul Chadwick, the guy who did the comic, was friends with Bill Stout, who worked on the Masters of the Universe movie, and he basically took all the stories that Bill Stout told him about behind the scenes stuff and incorporated it into the comic. So the plot of the comic is essentially the making of Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Concrete is Dark Horse. I can find it. Did you guys see that?
I just saw Indiana Jones happen on screen here.
Yeah, look, see?
Yeah.
He has a whip. They're in the little rail truck carts, like the coal cart.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Right, so that ain't in there.
No.
That ain't gold splashing either. That's water splashing with gold food coloring.
Wow.
That was a way better close up of the coin. They didn't give a close up of either.
Yeah. See, the thing is, though, you don't want to see the Donner cut of this movie because it'll just be more of that guy who played the racist brown face guy.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all there.
Acquired taste.
That's
Wow.
in it. That's in it.
I cautiously want to see this movie. Yeah, that trellis was like, what the hell, bro? How did you know that was cheap wood?
Look, she's shooting on the thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think she only shoots like when it's in the boat scene. She does that.
Yeah, she shoots a bunch of them in the boat.
Maybe they only had those shots, but not the other shots that they would have needed to complete.
I mean,
that
it's done all the time. They show stuff in trailers that don't make it in the movies.
Well, you're talking
Look,
about
that looked amazing.
Unfortunately, it
What was
looks
this?
better if they had left it
Yeah.
in the movie. It's like he's whipping
Wow,
people. all over the
hey.
place,
That's
and it's like,
badass. She just
What,
flipped that
right,
dude.
what the heck is going on here? Where is this movie? So if you add that extra action scene and then you add, and guarantee there's some story elements, this movie all of a sudden goes from being pretty cheap canon movie to this is pretty cool.
This would have stood up a little bit better, in my opinion, if they'd have fixed a few things.
But
Yeah,
maybe
like the King Solomon's Mines, there's no story, so it's just one thing after another. And if you don't care, you don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
But this movie's legit. Like they had cool stuff.
Well, like in the trailer, it was filmed. They had it, so like.
Yeah, that's it.
Why not use what you spent money on? Those are like legit stunts. Those are legit, scenes that are happening in this. It's
maybe the Lucasfilm people saw that and said,
So what do you guys think about?
You might be right about that because he's using a bullwhip. That may be way too close.
And the card, and maybe they saw that set and said that looks like the.
Is this any good?
Yeah, but Raiders of the Lost Ark didn't copyright bullwhipping. Like that.
No, but you can copyright the way they're doing it. I saw this pop up, J-Man, on Prime.
Yep.
I had no idea this was even a thing.
I heard of
I
it.
like him.
I have
it.
Yeah.
I have
this
it.
this was a made for TV movie though. That's probably why.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like a couple of them.
Might have just come and gone on TV and that's it.
There's another one that was more recent with
Yes.
The guy from the Warriors. I can't think of his name.
This one, Temple of the Skulls.
There's that one, but there's another one too. It was
That's
like
an Asylum one, isn't it?
2011. Yeah, that definitely looks Asylum.
That's Asylum.
What the hell is that guy's name?
What, the guy from Warriors?
Yeah.
Is he the same guy from Megaforce too?
No, not
James Remar.
James Remar. James Remar.
Oh
He
yeah,
did an
yeah.
Allan Quatermain movie. How did I
Yeah,
not know about
I
this?
think I saw that on Prime.
Wow.
Here's all the books.
Holy cow!
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
see Alan's
Richard
wife.
could have made a career out of making these movies if they did it right or better. I mean, I guess if you think about it.
Okay, so let me go to pop culture. Let me see. Indiana Jones. Yeah, we know that. Hard enough. Okay, so where's the okay? List of Allan Quatermain movies. Ajax. Michael Beck. Oh, Michael Beck. Oh, you think it was Michael Beck in there?
I could have swore it looked like James Remar. It popped up saying you would also like watching.
Damn, it's not there. But there he is in the book.
It might have even been showing me the Patrick Swayze one, and I was just looking at it too damn fast.
Yeah.
Well,
when did Michael Beck stop making movies, or did he ever?
No, unless he's in this one. No, that's not him.
No.
They just put it in because you said Allan Quatermain.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Patrick Swayze one I have, and I believe I have this one as well. But I'm not sure.
Come out to play.
I would have been awesome. I had to be looking at something super fast on there. There's an Allan Quatermain and the Spear of Destiny 2023.
Yeah, I have not seen that one. Someone mentioned that earlier in the chat.
It's only an hour long. Was that like a made for TV type thing? Probably?
Yeah, I guess so.
So which is better, Allan Quatermain and the Spear of Destiny or Trader Horny?
I don't know what that one is.
Trader Horn is kind of like the other Allan Quatermain-ish type franchise. When they made like
there's a poster.
76 comedies called Trader Horny.
Yeah, this is the poster I have on my wall. He's got the whip there.
Now, did they spring for the guy who did the Indiana Jones posters to do this?
I'm not sure. It might be because it looks pretty damn awesome.
I mean, they would go out for I feel like they put money in posters.
All action posters in the 80s were awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if they could afford Drew Struzan, they probably would
just get photos.
That's how they sold the movies. That's how they got their funding.
Sure. Yeah,
because I remember like the Firewalker poster looks amazing.
Oh, it's awesome.
There's the cage scene
style
right there. This cage scene that's not in the trailer, but not in the movie.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Those posters are so awesome.
Yeah, this is super awesome. My poster collection's pretty pumped. I have a lot of these. I have 150 posters or something like that. All like proper. Well, most of them are proper one sheets and all that. Or maybe it was a TV pilot. There you go.
It was the Patrick Swayze. I just saw the poster that popped up and I looked at it fast. He kind of has a James Remar kind of look to him.
Right.
Whenever you look at that head on, but hell, those were in 2004. Those were pretty modern.
Damn, yeah, this poster's badass. I should get this.
I love Firewalker.
I need to get a. I don't think I have a Chuck Norris poster.
So RR said that Raiders cost $20 million and Solomon's Mines cost $11 million, but one made $389 million and the other made $15. $15, yeah. $15. That was like the three of us seeing it in the theater for $5.
Well, I bought it on I bought it on I had it on VHS, then I got it on DVD, then I got it on Blu-ray.
That's how they got their $15
after the theatrical run. So
when I went to see Canon movies in the theaters, it was not an empty theater. Let me tell you, there were a lot of people.
I don't doubt that at all. But you're also talking how much was it to go watch that movie,
or how wide of a release it
was. Was it? Yeah, but was that ticket like $1.50, $2? You know, I mean, honestly, back in the day, that was pretty good amount for not a blockbuster kind of movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I have this poster too, just as a random.
Even though it's the heads, they did it right. You know, I don't normally like where they just put the heads on and it's all the actors, but this one works. It's that shadow kind of look to it. I just fucking love that car, dude. I don't care.
Do you want to? Okay, so hold on a second. When is so? Okay, next week. So who's not available when? What was
Ross said not next week, right?
I can't do next week, and then the week after I'll be late, but I can
maybe
I'll still I'll make the second hour almost for sure.
Every other Sunday, I don't think, because they're doing my thing where I'm closing one week and not the other week. So like on Wednesdays for the actually 2 on the weeks I'm closing, I won't be able to come to either.
So when are you? So who's good next Sunday? Charlie?
I'm good next Sunday.
I don't think I will be.
You're not.
No.
Okay. Ross, you're not. So, do you guys care if we do LXG, or do you like? Because I do it every, and then the next one we can do something, like. So you're good every other week? Is that what you're saying, John?
I think. I mean, that's what he's saying. But like I said, a lot of things get said, and then it does. Like I said, I don't know. And I hate this job because the schedule gets made a week in advance, and I'm like, dude, do you know? I mean, I know I don't have a life, but I kind of do in terms of this.
I'm never going to have one if you don't let me schedule it.
Right? Almighty. Yeah,
so John, So we kind of I remember this from before. So I'm gonna schedule what I can schedule, and if you can make it, you can make it. And if you can't, you can't. I don't know.
Dude, I'm not saying how we have to do your thing. I will be able to make it. That's fine.
So I just last week. I mean, shit happens, We can't
I text Owen all the time. I'm like, I won't be able to make it.
Yeah, you guys did just fine without me most of the time from last week. So
all right. So do you care about LXG, Ross, or do you want to? And we can push that to the week after.
I would actually look forward to seeing that one again.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Rather,
we'll do something else.
Keep it close to these movies. I will understand why.
So. We're gonna do, and I want to do Highlander, or maybe Highlander 2.
Which version, J-Man? Which version of Highlander 2?
So they're from the alien race, or that
the three. I don't. You know what? I've never seen The Quickening.
Really?
I only ever saw. Okay, I only ever saw Highlander 2, the Renegade version with the red sky.
But you never saw the original version.
Yeah, I never saw the original Highlander 2. I have it on VHS. To let you know that this will tell you my opinion. I have the Highlander 2 original poster, one sheet. I love Highlander 2. I only saw the Renegade version. I never saw it because everyone told me it was garbage. They said it was garbage, it's garbage, garbage. Don't watch Highlander 2. I was like, okay. But then this Renegade version came out, and it's like, oh, Highlander 2 Renegade version. I did a little bit of research, and I was like, oh, this is like an alternate version. Like, let me watch this. And I watched it, and I absolutely loved it. I thought this was
they fixed. Awesome. Well, the biggest problem with the original version was they made them an alien.
They're aliens.
Right.
And they got rid of the other one.
That whole thing is gone?
That whole thing is gone. Yeah,
the Renegade version.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But there's also like
they fixed all that. I mean, it's still not like the first one still overshadows it by far, but the Renegade version makes number 2 so much better to watch.
And there's still like 2 other versions that have been released. There's like a UK cut of everything. Yeah. Somebody's added all the stuff from the television edits that never made it into either cut.
Yeah.
There's like 4 versions of this movie you can watch, and they're almost all different.
They're all different.
Same basic story, but everything stands out on its own.
So who has more variants? Army of Darkness or Highlander 2?
Highlander 2. There's only 2 Army of Darknesses. Yeah. But so I never saw the Alien thing, which I would like to. I don't know where I could even find it though. I can't see.
You can get them on YouTube.
You can get it on. Yeah, it's
YouTube has it.
You can find physical copies of it still.
See, the problem.
We did what's called our Wheel of Chaos, which means you spin a wheel and it picks.
Yes.
I put the Highlander 2 double feature on. I made them watch both versions, and we talked about both versions on the podcast. And I had a ball. They did not, but I love those movies.
That's a great. I own this movie.
I saw the original Highlander 2 in the theater, and my mom took me and my brother to see it at a bargain matinee. And we hated it so much that we snuck in to see the people under the stairs just because we didn't want our money back, but we wanted to get our money's worth.
Get your money's worth out of it.
See, the problem is that I can't guarantee this because you can not guarantee anything in life, but I can pretty much almost guarantee that if I watch the Alien version, I'm probably going to think it's awesome. because
I like both. I don't know.
So I'm sitting here and they're saying, oh, they're aliens. Is like, so the second, I was like, so what is Highlander 2 the Quickening then? What is it like? Oh, they're aliens. I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. And they're like, what? No, it's terrible. I'm like, why is it terrible? It explains why they're immortal.
Well, they have like they're having like a civil war, and they get sent to Earth,
and it's in the future, but they send them to the past, and then they transport. It's a mind fuck. That's what it is. But I love both versions. I don't give a shit. I will.
Yeah, the aliens are fine
anytime.
You know the other problem is that I didn't, when I watched Highlander Part 1, I thought this is a cool movie. It wasn't my life, so it doesn't matter to me if it's changed. Like it's like, oh, they're aliens. Like, oh, that's cool. They're aliens. Like to me, like, you know, like it's not like, oh, let's make Indiana Jones into an alien or something. It's like, that's stupid.
Oh, when
it's
I
like,
saw it, I was just like, oh, all right.
I watched it. It was like, oh, there's more after I watched the first Highlander. You know, like by the time I'm watching them, they're already out. So Dad's like, well, there's Highlander 2. Let's rent it. So I'm like a week or two from watching the first one. So,
so Charlie, we've got the same
exact same. Yeah.
Yeah. I never saw Highlander when it came out. I didn't even watch it as a kid because I didn't see Highlander 2. I saw Highlander when I was like, I don't know, like 20 or something.
Oh my God.
I watched the TV show before I watched the movies.
Yes, I had seen some of the show. So I watched Highlander 2 when I watched Highlander when I was 20. It's like, oh, this is an awesome movie. What the hell? And then everyone says, don't watch part 2. Then I watched Renegade 2. I'm like, this is equally as good as part 1. It's awesome. They're now in the future. Like he's living out his life because he chose to be mortal. And then he's making the ozone layers messed up. And then Katana comes back. I was like, and then more guys come
in any movie as a bad guy. I mean,
I was like, this is cool. So
his name's Katana for God's sake.
Yeah, that is awesome. and then from that point on, I saw Highlander 3, 4, 5. Then I saw
like
them all.
Highlander 3. Mario Van Peebles as a sorcerer hidden in a mountain. Cool,
I like the source because it's so screwed up. It's awesome.
The sources.
They were just like, you know what? They were on drugs when they made this Highlander.
Sure.
Movie, but
they're also like, we now have a lore of television and now we have a lore of movies. How do we make these meet and kiss? That's what they did. Endgame. And then Endgame.
They did Endgame before Endgame. So hold on. We haven't figured out anything. We went on a tangent. I have to end this stream and we don't have a topic. So next week's topic, we can figure something out, or do you want to? So Alex G will say for May 4th.
Yeah,
is that okay? Is May 4th okay for everybody?
Like I said,
week is the one where I'm coming in.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I would see him tomorrow. I could be like, dude, Wednesdays and Sundays, can I not close?
All right, so we'll do Alex G on May 11th. We'll do Alex G on May 11th because then by that time, Ross, you're good.
Yeah.
So next week. You want to do something like, what's something easy, Charlie, that we don't even have to, that we could do right now that we don't even have to rewatch really? Like what's an easy peasy? Let me look around here.
Something that doesn't line up with Action Elite. What do we got?
Yeah.
Have we done Beastmaster yet?
You want to do Ross, are you going to want to do Beastmaster?
I would like to, but
let's do. How about Beastmaster for the 4th?
That'll
work. You can come in late on that one, right?
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, do that one. What else do I got?
Well, we can't do Star Crash next week, but because we definitely need Ross there for that one. But Charlie doesn't like Star Crash, so you guys get to fight.
It'll be like the amazing 6-hour stream.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you two nerds fight it out. Ooh, I like it. Ooh. I'm on Ross's team.
You're gonna make me watch that damn movie again, even though I said I would not watch that movie again.
And not only are you gonna watch it again, you're gonna get bombarded by me and Ross.
Yeah,
Charlie, you're gonna watch it again. It's gonna be a life-altering experience.
Watch it'll all change.
You'll be like, oh my god, what the hell was I thinking the first time I saw this movie?
You know what? You know which one? Have you already done the Barbarians and the Action Elite?
No, but we did the Barbarians on and we also did Star Crash on my
tournament
versus tournament. So I'm trying not to copy. We didn't do Beastmaster because it was too good.
Oh,
see, this is the problem I'm having with my podcast because, like, I go on yours, I go on Owen's, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with mine anymore. It's like I don't want anything clashing with anybody.
I got a phone one, but people may want to actually be on it. Steel Dawn. With Lazy.
I have that on Blu-ray, so
I have it up here on my shelf.
All right, that didn't get a theatrical release, but I remember when they hit the video store when I was working at my cousin's. I was like,
it's a post-apocalyptic adventure.
With Patrick Swayze.
It's Roadhouse in the future.
In the
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yep. Is it?
I'm throwing it out there. I'm always down to do Steel Dawn. I love that movie.
Does anyone care if we do Steel Dawn? Or if somebody wants to be there for Steel Dawn, we can do Army of Darkness next weekend. And like, you guys don't need
if
to
you guys want to do Army of Darkness next weekend, just in case, that's fine. I mean, I'll still come on if I can. But if
I can do Army of Darkness.
Let's do Army of Darkness.
Really upset.
All right.
Let's do Army of Darkness. That's an easy one.
I could add to that conversation.
You can add, yeah. I feel like some of these weirder ones people want to be on because it's like a more Army of Darkness is so generic. I could talk about it all day.
Yeah.
So
I can do it right now. You can
I can
start
do it right
all
now.
the stream. I can talk
We
about
all
it.
could. And,
Let's
and
go
you'll
Army of
get a
Darkness.
million
And-
clicks for it too.
And you know what? I get to say this one too. Saw it in the theater. I've got the numbered DVD copy. Of course, I got the 4K, but like I saw Brotherhood in the theater, and I got the 3-disc version, which gives you the soundtrack, and it's a numbered DVD. So yes, I saw Brotherhood Wolf.
Fights.
I have
World's worst CG creature.
Oh, it's fine, Charlie.
It is so fucking bad. We covered it. Nate was like, "This is the greatest movie ever." I hadn't seen it in years, and we're all like, "This is great," except for that, and that it's 3 hours fucking long. Just no.
It is a long movie.
It's a long movie.
No, you're killing me, buddy. I'm gonna have to beat you up. If anyone tells me May the 4th be with you, I'm gonna lose my mind. Do not message me on. I'll just because you guys might not know this. Do not message, and Charlie's gonna do it because I can see him smiling.
I'm so fucking gonna do it.
But I'm gonna block you.
Go for it. Do it.
I'm gonna block you all of May 4th, and then I'm gonna unblock you.
That's totally fine.
Just send
You'll
them
get-
a
you'll
meme.
get
I'm
revenge
not
of the
gonna
fifth,
say
the
it.
very
I'm not
next
only
day.
gonna, J-Man, I'm not only gonna send. I'm gonna send you a GIF of it.
No, I'm gonna block everybody on May 4th. I'm not going to.
Rose Tico that says "May the
Oh
first
God.
be with you."
I'm gonna go, J-Man. Do you know what day it is? And then-
Oh my God, Bruce Campbell is overrated. Are you
I
crazy?
thought we liked RR for a little while
okay, this
there.
guy is like,
Yeah.
I don't know any, but like my hot take is that.
Do you allow trolls in your chat there, J-Man?
No. R is one of our one. He's like the top super friend.
He's
of
a good
everybody.
dude. He's a good dude.
He's our
We
top
gotta-
guy.
We're gonna
We're gonna do
bust
Speed
it.
Racer. RR. I'm gonna do Speed Racer when you're available. So you let me know, and we're gonna do. I love Speed Racer.
Oh wait, Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Yeah, we were just talking
Yeah,
about.
like what are you? What's going on, Ross?
Where's Ross?
I was
at?
reading the. I read
Oh,
slow.
it's fine. That's where I said that
the
this great fights, but horrible CG monster in that movie.
Oh,
Horrible.
I thought you were still talking about Army of Darkness.
Yeah, no. I don't like this. Like this, it's May 25th. That's when like people. I was like, you can't just pick a. Oh, my birthday is April 3rd. It's like, is that your actual birthday? No, but it sounds like my name. Like, what is? That's not.
Yeah.
It's like-
You can tell who the true fans are because it's like, oh, it kind of sounds like May the Force be with you. I'm a normie. Or it's like, I know that Star Wars was released on May 20th.
But it's not even like it's not the day. Like, I don't understand. Like, you can't make a day up and say, oh yeah, it's September 14th.
No, it's because
Okay.
it sounds like it if you lisp it out. It sounds
Yeah,
like
if you listen, it's nonsense. So yeah, if my name was whatever name, and then there's a date that sound like my name, that's my birthday. Like, but that's not your birthday. I don't understand. Like, I understand. Okay, May the 4th. Oh, that was a funny joke. It's May the 4th. So it's like May the 4th be with you. But that's become a thing where people are now like, oh yeah, that's Star Wars Day. No, it's not Star Wars Day. That's just a random meme. Like, it's not Star Wars Day. I can't.
And then DC Comics pulled Batman.
He's just poking now.
No, he hates Jody.
Oh, I know he does.
I'm okay with Jody, but I'm not okay with the writing of that show. I thought it was terrible. I like Jodie Whittaker, but I don't care for her to be the Doctor. And the writing of that series was absolutely abysmal. But the new writing, the Jodie Whittaker era, I'll say this when we're going to end. The Jodie Whittaker era is about 4 million times better than it is now. So if you can even imagine the math on that, because Jodie's was 400 trillion times worse than Doctor Who was before, but now that is 400 billion times better than what it is. I just posted a review. This one wasn't as bad. I didn't throw up, but the last one,
wow,
the last one was so awful. And we got to hear about how you guys don't even know. All you non-Doctor Who people who are walking around saying, I don't like the way Star Wars is now, and Star Trek isn't as good, and you guys are living the dream. Last Jedi is 20 times better than Doctor Who. Like, whatever you think about, I don't like Acolyte and all, it's Doctor Who has been destroyed my wife won't even look at the screen, which is impossible.
Wow.
Like for her, she loves Doctor Who. If I just say Doctor Who, emotional, she loves Doctor Who. Like that's her, loves it. Anything. Fifth Doctor, oh, he's the best Doctor ever. I'm like, Sixth Doctor, I love the Sixth Doctor. He's so good. And like, it's like she's like dead hard stop. Like Peter Capaldi, that's it. She will not even watch while I'm watching. She's like, I'm going to go take a shower, and I'm going to take a really long shower, and then I'm going to mess around for a bit and tell me when it's done. That's how bad I have to wake up early this morning. I heard her get up. I was like, oh, she's going to the bathroom. I'm going to quickly go watch it now while she's away. That's how it is. Just to do my Peter Cushing. Yeah, I have those. Those
rule, man. And it's even worse if your first doctor wasn't David Tennant or Christopher Eccleston. If you go like way back, like
I watched everything.
Yeah, I know, but if you go
from
way
63
back,
to now,
that much great Doctor Who, and then the revival stuff up until the new one,
right?
So it hurts even more.
Oh yeah, and I've watched it all from 1963.
Yeah,
from 1963 to now. All of K9, all of Sarah Jane Adventures, all of Torchwood, all of Class, every single whatever season 40 seasons, 60 plus years of Doctor Who. I've watched all of it and own all of it on DVD.
You remember when Colin Baker was just like, that was like the worst blip of the Doctor.
I absolutely love Colin Baker.
Well,
he's the first one I met. He's a bloody. He tried to kill the companion, but she was annoying. The Doctor tried to kill his friend. She was being irritating, and he was the Mad Doctor. He was awesome. Yeah,
but back then, he was considered like
because he was crazy. I know he would have been
now. Even by today's standards, even he would be like.
Oh God, yeah, he's the best. Yes. All of you Star Wars people, you don't know what's going. Well, the Acolyte's the Acolyte is way better than Doctor. Doctor Who is literally the Doctor says, "What are your pronouns?" I'm like, is this happening? The Doctor has been changing, like he's been changing who he is. He literally was a woman, and now he's saying, "What's your pronouns?" Like, but you were a woman in the last season. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you? Like, they're trying to make it like the Doctor needs to, smarten up. Like, he changes mannerisms, actors, like it's the same character that's been going, and he was just a woman. Why would he need to? It's just so stupid. Anyways, off topic, guys.
It's such a modern audience that it's down to like what, a quarter of what the audience used to be.
It's like 1/20th of all. It's the lowest. This one was the lowest rated thing in 60 years. In 60 years,
wow,
the ratings are dropping. Like 60 years, like so people in 1963 when the Kennedy it was the Kennedy assassination, more people watched then than now. Anyways, all right, John, what's going on your website? Anything new?
Just I got to see The Accountant too early. I get the review.
Nice.
Now, so that was
looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was so excited to go see that early because I'm always late.
Be cool.
I'm always late now. It's like I used to go see movies in the theater. Now it's like I can't. Every movie gets released on the weeks I have my daughter. But yeah, so that's the biggest thing right now. I have a couple interviews lined up, but nothing I want to say until they actually happen.
Nice,
awesome. Yeah. Charlie, what do you got? What do you got happening?
Tuesday we release our Kill Bill episode for
man.
month of Anna, so we dive into that. A lot of fun.
Well, I got set the 4Ks of those. I got to do that.
I got those too.
I picked them up. This
Jane sent it to me, so I have to put the review out there.
Right. She picked it. It pushed me over the edge. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to get the 4Ks. They were both right there, and I'm like,
yeah. That's okay. Ross, do you have anything to report?
Yeah, go to the Antarctic Press website. You can get a bunch of my comics there, and you can get the Luna Diamond, the Midas Star by Star Crash writer-director Luigi Cozzi and myself. And you can just imagine all those great special effects unhindered by the budget and technology of 1970s. It's Luigi Unbound.
Yep.
And that Unbound
too. Anyone here hyped about Superman? You can check out all my thoughts on the fake Superman movie that's coming out.
Superman. Oh, I love
I'm not that pumped for a fake Superman. That's all.
I was laughing out loud at your Fantastic Four trailer.
I know. I was like, I watched that too. And
Well, it's well. I mean, when you spit in the face of the creator of all comics, then it's a little bit hard to like.
Listen,
it's a bit hard to, right? Like they literally spat on Jack Kirby's face. It's like, hey, Jack Kirby, you create all this stuff. You create the Silver Surfer, a great character who's very sleek and goes through space, so he doesn't have like fucking hair in space. Right, Cliff, baby, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We're ending off though, but yeah, she has hair. Like it's like, why would she have hair? It looks so terrible.
Space hair.
Doug Jones and Lawrence Fishburne, the voice in that movie was. I don't care what you say about Fantastic Four 2. Oh, I didn't like this, and Galactus was crap.
Yeah,
But-
obviously.
Yeah.
It's Cloud.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even Galactus. But
I-
Silver Surfer, peak.
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Peak. I hate that word, but I will say because people use it for everything. But I will say
But that is the legitimate.
that was legit, dude. I'm
I
getting
agree
goosebumps.
100%.
Yeah, when I sat there and Silver Shore, I was like, I am the Silver Shore. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, this guy's fucking great. Lawrence Fishburne. I would literally use Doug Jones and Lawrence Fishburne again.
Yeah,
Did
why
you guys
not?
ever? Did you guys
Yeah,
ever
like-
see that previews magazine from like the late '70s, or early '80s that had Xanadu on the cover? Preview was this magazine that
I don't mind. I like Xanadu.
I love Xanadu.
Oh yeah.
I saw it in the movie thing.
So did I. And then,
Yes.
so I didn't
I'm
appreciate
old.
Xanadu
I keep telling
until
you
I
that.
sat with a couple of gay guys who explained it to me as we were watching it in real time.
Oh, you understood it perfectly. Stop it.
I
No,
grew
I
up with
didn't.
sisters. That's
No.
why. I had two.
No,
older
I
sisters.
grew up with nothing. I grew up with just me, but I thought Xanadu was awesome. I'm like,
This isn't about Xanadu.
okay.
Olivia Newton-John
Preview
was the
magazine.
hottest thing ever
Yeah,
when that movie
She's
came
and
out.
Swan, our buddy Swan is in it, man. You can't go wrong with
God
Swan.
rest her soul. I can't
Okay,
believe
Ross, tell your point. End the stream. Go ahead, tell your point.
Okay, so Preview magazine was put out by Jim Steranko as like a sort of like a Starlog ripoff.
Yeah.
And so the issue that has Xanadu on the cover, if you flip it over, it's got the Silver Surfer on the back. And at that time, me and every comic book nerd in the world was like, holy shit, because this was like pre-Photoshop. They took a photo of some dude on a board and did like this airbrush thing to it. And that was
look
like
that
the
up.
most photorealistic image of the Silver Surfer we had seen until the Lawrence Fishburne voiced version
Nice.
on the FF movie. And it's Preview VUE magazine. Now he's obsessed.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
I found the magazine, but I'm trying to get the back cover to it.
Just put Silver Surfer.
Why is that? You think that would come up immediately? Yeah, preview. Yeah, preview magazine, Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
Okay.
But yeah, that is awesome. I do like Xanadu. But you know when I saw Xanadu about like 3 years ago or something, everyone said it was a terrible movie. I was like, I'm gonna watch this terrible Xanadu movie. I was like, this movie's awesome. I downloaded the soundtrack immediately, and the soundtrack is great. Swan is in it.
Charlie, I got to ask you though. You and I got to do a Mega Force. I want to do a Mega Force with you.
Name it.
Yeah.
Tell me the date. I'll be there.
I know you're because you work and you do.
Did I give you
8,000
the?
podcasts.
Yeah.
Did I gave you guys the Megaforce soundtrack, right?
I'm man enough for Megaforce.
Yeah,
I got my
Megaforce is
hat.
awesome.
I got my hat over there. I got my special edition Blu-ray over there.
No, didn't
I got
get
my
that.
patch. I got my patch from the guy that is working on the documentary, Bob Lindenmeyer, who owns two of the vehicles, who's
Oh
friends.
my God,
with-
what the
I didn't wear
hell?
the hat today, but
Yeah.
I got
Now,
But I
you
am
want me to-
ingrained in the Megaforce lore.
do you want me to go get it? Because I have the Megaforce fan club kit that you when it said
I
on the
had
end
that
of the
when I was a
That's
kid.
awesome.
We'll
We'll do a Megaforce one then. We'll do a Megaforce.
And I have a 45 of the song that
Wow,
Haley's Comet.
I have to hang up all the posters I got from the special edition Blu-ray.
that is awesome.
Yeah, there was a ton.
With the Japanese lettering and everything.
The Japanese, the lobby
Yeah.
cards, everything
Yeah.
that came with that. So awesome.
That
I
is
don't see
awesome.
how anybody can shit on that movie.
No, that's
I
yeah.
told my dad I would get a Cybertruck just so I could paint it white and put
It's our
light
most
on it and make
legitimate
it
GI Joe movie. It's the most legitimate GI Joe
Yeah.
movie out there.
Barry Bostwick was the damn shit in that movie.
Mhm.
Yep.
And Michael Beck. They had such great chemistry together. But I'm
Yeah.
going off. I'm sorry.
All right, boys. J-Man's got to end this thing.
All right, folks. It was good talking about Quatermain for 5 minutes, and for the other 2 hours,
everything else.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure you're subscribed, all that good stuff. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.